Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Spawncast episode 244. We're missing Max. He said he was doing something. Now I don't remember. He's off doing something.
Playing a piano or watching someone play a piano. I don't know.
That'll work. We'll go with that. Okay, but the rest of us are all here, and we also have a guest. We have Gene Park joining us tonight. Gene, how are we doing?
Good. I'm so happy to be here. I think it's. I told you guys this is a dream booking, so this is fucking fantastic. I shouldn't curse right away, huh?
That's fine.
No, Usually Sean does it first, but you're the guest.
There you go.
Gene, of course, over at Washington Post. Make sure you check out his author page down in the description, so you can follow him over there. But we'll have quite a conversation, I'm sure, across all of the topics tonight. We have that PlayStation Game Pass report to go over, or Game Pass competitor, according to the Bloomberg. And I have some of the Game Awards predictions, since that is this week, and we're expecting at least quite a few announcements. And I guess we'll give our final prediction on what wins Game of the Year to see if anyone get it right. And then I also tied in Nintendo Switch Online, since it seems like it's going to be a subscription-based world here over the next couple of years. So let me go around here. Let's start with OJ Player Essence. How are we doing tonight?
I'm pretty good, man. Had a good pre-show over on the channel, so it was a lot of fun. A lot of people came through, getting ready for the show tonight, and it's great to have Gene on, so that's awesome as well. So yeah, it's been a pretty good week, interesting week. So yeah,
make sure you check out OJ does the pre-show on his channel. So if you're just kind of hanging out, waiting for it to start, go over there.
There was a lot of people that came through that were getting ready for the show, so it was fun. It was fun today.
Very good. We got MVG. How we doing, MVG?
Hey, what's going on? It's great to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Gonna need you for the PS3 talk on this PlayStation subscription stuff.
Let's
all right,
do it.
so
Absolutely, yeah.
Need you to crush some dreams. Click, how you doing? I saw you're about to take a bite of some food. I figured I'd go to you next.
Thank you, John. Appreciate it. I'm doing great. Eating food as always. I know that pisses some of you off. So
what is that?
You got there? What is that? Yellow rice? Go ahead. Just
cheese rice.
Wow, fancy.
Looks good. Looks good.
That looks so good.
Looks
Tastes
good.
good.
So we got Sean RGT85.
Yo.
How we doing over there?
Doing all right. Just let the record show anything I say tonight reflects on only me. Washington Post, nothing to do with it. So don't go after Gene for shit I say.
I have to learn how to not laugh at Sean's jokes, so there's no complicity there or anything.
It is good.
Can Sean answer for this tweet that I just put up right here? Sean, is there anything to say, or no? We good?
Where? I don't see.
It's in the Discord. Don't worry about it. Keep on going, John.
I mean, it's a nice jersey.
It is good to see. It is good to see Sean showed up this week, unlike the Knicks. Let's go over here too, Joe.
Sportscast.
All right, I guess we're good. Sean's just like, well.
Sounds like screw you guys.
Sean was ready to start trading most of the team. He was just talking about 80% of the team's got to go.
Turn to Vince McMahon, dude, on Twitter.
I mean, there's definitely some changes that need to be made, and I think they realize. I mean, the season ain't over. It's long. It's a long season. It'll be all right.
Sure. We got Jordan. How we doing, Jordan?
Good. Glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Good to have Jordan here. And we got Evan. How we doing, Evan?
Doing all right.
Good. Still playing Battlefield.
Oh yeah.
All right. Very good. Then we have Nate the Hate.
Yes, I am here.
Okay, good. We got Nate here. Let's go to a Discord question first, Evan, before we get into the PlayStation stuff.
Do you guys think ID Software, id Software, and Bethesda could make a good Metroid Prime game?
Good Metroid Prime game. I mean, I think they could get like the gunplay and all that down fine. The world building itself would be interesting to see if they could pull that off.
I mean, if the question's about the id Tech engine, if that could do a Metroid Prime game, then yes, I think it could.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
They could. Yeah. If they said they're working on Metroid, they could make a Metroid game if they really wanted to make one.
Yeah, and they make it run on the Switch, no problem.
Yeah, they could make one, because even Doom Eternal, that had first person platforming parts. I didn't like them, but it had it in there. I mean, they did the best they could with it. So yeah, they could.
Yeah, actually,
why not?
Yeah, that'd be interesting. And I got another one, Evan.
Out of Ubisoft, EA, and Activision, which company do you think is the best, and which do you think is the worst in terms of business practices?
Okay, business practices.
What were the three options?
Yeah, what were the three?
Ubisoft, EA, Activision.
Who makes the most money?
Business practices. I see. You're saying money. What? Ubisoft?
Who's
or
worth most
Activision?
money? Yeah, it's got to be one of those two, and then
Activision.
I would say Activision probably, right?
For like in terms of
Activision.
business practices. Yeah, Ubisoft. Yeah, I
I
guess.
think also treating the way your employees. I think he was maybe implying that as well.
That's
because they are technically separate. I mean, businesses are.
But you don't know. You don't know
machines.
everything that goes on behind the scenes and stuff like that. You only know, which I'm sure we'll talk about later. You only know what's put out there in the media. So they're probably equally as shitty across the board.
Yeah.
So we got to go back to the money.
They're all shitty across the board, not just these three, the entire industry and
But
society. So
God. Thanks, Nate.
it's the truth.
Not wrong.
They're all bad. No, you can't look at any single developer and say this one is better than the other when it comes to such actions. They all have these cases in turn.
Especially Night Dive. Night Dive is probably the worst.
Night Dive. Whoa.
Done nothing wrong.
I don't think that's fair to put a label over everybody, though. I don't know if that's fair.
Well,
A big company?
They were asking which one's the least worst.
Every big company, yes.
I mean, I'm just saying, but like say every single company is just as bad as every. I mean, like there's clearly levels to places, things that happen in certain places that don't happen as much in other places. So I mean, I see what you guys are saying, but I mean, like, okay, so then MVG's company that he's with them, they suck too, right?
I get what Nate's saying, but honestly, if there was shit going on at the place that I work, I wouldn't be working there. Simple as that. So I that's kind of my take on this.
That's why we love you.
In that case, I guess we would go with the money side, probably Activision for now until Call of Duty stumbles, which Vanguard might.
Stock is not.
Vanguard might stumble. We'll see. Find out more next month with we'll find out with the NPD report how Call of Duty actually did compared to previous years.
I do have a question before we start, though. Did anyone watch the verses between 3-6 Mafia and Bone Thugs this week? And if so,
I caught it.
It was right there on the calendar, and I completely missed it.
Who won, in your opinion?
3-6.
Okay.
What do you think?
No, 3-6 by far. I mean, you made Busy Bone cry and throw shit on stage. Like, you won right then and there. Like,
I think Bone Thugs is kind of washed though. But
Bone Thugs is good, but like they didn't do a lot of their good songs. They did a lot of their slower, more ballad-based stuff. When like 3-6 Mafia coming out with "Hit a Motherfucker," like, and then you followed up with like "Hydro." It's like, okay, no, we're trying to get hyped here.
Yeah,
carry on.
Thank you, Sean.
Fun fact: I've partied with Juicy J before.
You're a lucky man.
Yeah. There's a picture on my Twitter. I'll show it to you sometime. But yeah, it's me and Juicy J just completely fucked up. Just like,
that rules. That's awesome.
All right, dude. We'll start with this PlayStation report around a new service or merging of services that they're planning for next year. Nate, you seem
to talking about a different service.
Nate, you seem pretty familiar with this. All right. That's how
the Bloomberg service.
The Bloomberg one, yes.
Spartacus.
You seem very familiar with this as well, because you had mentioned it online as soon as it went out there. The report, you're like, oh, okay. Yeah,
I actually mentioned it a week ago. Funny enough.
When?
I mentioned it last Sunday, and I actually mentioned it accidentally on the Spawncast last week, where I said I bought a PlayStation Plus membership in anticipation of a price hike early next year, and I realized I kind of screwed that up, and then I kind of tried to recover really quick and say, oh, when the price goes back up after Black Friday. But last Sunday, there was a thread where people were discussing, will Sony or Nintendo ever introduce a Game Pass type of thing? And I said, is PlayStation Plus merging with PlayStation Now count?
Kind of, but it depends if they actually go as far as what's being described here, I would say. I mean, that's part of I think the thing we have to get into here is this even a Game Pass competitor?
It's a competitor yes, it's a competitor in the sense that it is going for your money and your time.
Okay.
This is internally at Sony, it is going to be positioned as their Game Pass solution. Is it a one-to-one competitor? Not exactly, because you're not going to have day one releases of PlayStation big AAA games. Like God of War Ragnarok will not be on the service day one. So it's not a one-to-one competitor with Game Pass in that sense.
Let me go over the details here. This is from Bloomberg. 3-tier service. And it's going to bring in a library of classics from PS1, PS2, PS3, and PSP, which actually out of the three of them, because of I kind of assume how the PS3 is going to be done. The PSP is kind of interesting. I would like to see what they can get out of that. And then they're going to have it on PS4 and PS5 expected in the spring. They're going to merge PS Plus and PS Now, apparently keeping the PS Plus branding over PS Now. 3 tiers. The first one basically being PS Plus, second one being access to PS4 and select PS5 titles. And then the third tier is essentially everything, including streaming. So this is being positioned, like you said, Nate, internally. It seems like, I guess, with slides or just marketing material as their answer to Game Pass. Jim Ryan has said in the past, we are working on our answer to Game Pass. More information will follow. Sounds like this got out a bit earlier. They were anticipating this would be their answer for Game Pass.
Yeah, this is substantially earlier than anticipated. This will be introduced, as the article says, in spring 2022. So we're looking at roughly a 4 to 5 month window to the actual introduction of the service. This was something that I was actually planning on discussing in a January podcast, but Bloomberg went far earlier than I was anticipating.
Yeah.
I didn't feel as though you had to report on something 5 months in advance. I wanted to wait until it was a little closer to the actual introduction. And once plans were actually cemented internally at Sony, because there are still a few things with this that aren't concrete just yet. There's a few things that are still to be determined in terms of the lineup, what will be available at launch. So I wanted things to settle before I really addressed it. But Bloomberg did a fine job giving really the skeletal outline of what is going to be there when the service is introduced early next year. PlayStation 2 and PSP games, they will come to the service, but they will not be there day one at launch. Day one will be PlayStation 1 Classics.
Okay, so PS1 Classics, they're going to, I guess, fix what they ruined with the PlayStation Classic itself.
Yeah, you'll actually have good games. You'll have a lot of them.
Wow. Wait, can I play the original Spyro then? Finally, am I on through that service like that?
I mean, I guess that would be a matter of licensing, and if who's the current holder, Activision?
Of the original game, would they hold the rights to that still? Technically, for like,
well, they own the IP, right?
Yeah.
So they would have to give the approval because they own the IP, but Insomniac and Sony would own the original licensing of the first PlayStation 1
I'm thinking back to the PS1, and if you really consider it, at that time, Sony was new, and they were mostly just looking around at third parties to put games on the PlayStation. So I'm trying to think of how far they'll take it with the PS1 library immediately for this service, because they're no longer going to be like, oh, you put it there and you just sell it outright. At least we understand now it would be part of the subscription service. Maybe you can also buy it, but it's going to cost Sony money to put all of these games into the service then if they're going to third parties all over the place.
I have a question, Nate. The tiers, like, what's the price going to be? Is it going to be as high as... Yeah, like what
pricing is a detail I have not heard in.
We can speculate
as far as the tiers go. I mean, you could speculate,
sir.
Yeah, I mean, it's
$5 for tier 1.
What's going to be offered in the highest tier is going to be a lot of services. I could easily see that being competitive with the Game Pass Ultimate pricing structure. So, but I mean, I'd say at the ceiling, let's just say 150 as a high point. It definitely could come in lower.
I got the pricing at tier 1 $5, tier 2 $7.99, tier 3 $12.99.
Nate, I have a question for you.
It's pretty aggressive.
Okay.
So, in that article, it was said to be a Game Pass competitor
per month.
Yes.
Now, the question is Sony internally saying this is a Game Pass competitor, or is this verbiage that's come from Jason's report?
It is internally in
Jason
Sony's...
talking out of his ass because Jason already blocked, man.
It's internally, it is being positioned in their marketing and discussions with developers and publishers that it is their Game Pass solution.
It would have to be, right? Because they already have multiple subscription services. You have PS Plus. You also have PS Now. Like, obviously, if they're going to make something new, then that would be something that they're trying to position against. Hey, buy this instead of that, or give us. So, I mean, I would think even if they deny that it's not, I mean, I would think that it still is. Right?
What's really interesting about this, if you think about the first 8 months of this year for Game Pass Ultimate, they didn't put any third or first party games in there day one because they didn't have any to release.
Yeah, the first one would have been Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Yeah,
Flight Simulator wasn't there day one.
Well, on the Xbox, they brought it to the Xbox later on, right?
Yeah,
but on
July.
PC, it went in there, I believe.
PC first, yeah.
But like, people are thinking of like Psychonauts 2, Halo, Forza, those kind of games. But it's been third party, right, for a while now since the Series X launched, basically.
Yeah, they got the games like Outriders, MLB The Show.
Yes.
Because Microsoft didn't have any games for the first 7 months of the year.
Because with PlayStation...
Did Medium drop? Was
that went right into? Yep, yeah. That went immediately as well. Yep. Because PlayStation Plus they were getting third-party games dropped in day one as well. Mm-hmm. They had Oddworld Soulstorm. That was day one on PlayStation Plus, right? Yes. I know they did Destruction All-Stars, although that was Sony's, like that was part of their, I guess, first party lineup technically. Mm-hmm. So they have done that. It makes me think with this service, if it gets more expensive to the point where they would start bringing in third party day one releases as opposed to doing their big blockbuster first party releases.
Right now, the way it's being positioned is that Sony won't have any of their big exclusives day one. That does not mean they cannot get third party or indie games for the service day one, but we're not going to have like God of War Ragnarok there day one or Returnal day one. Now these could come 3 months, 6 months down the line, kind of like what we see with PlayStation Plus, where a game comes to the service after, that X window has expired. So there's definitely a lot of things that Sony can and may do with the service moving forward. And once we do see it introduced in its infancy, it's going to probably lean heavily on that legacy aspect, because one of the biggest flaws that people have really critiqued with the PlayStation 5 is that lack of accessibility to the legacy software and hardware from the PlayStation line.
Yep. I have a video for tomorrow about the GameCube situation with that, and it is getting ugly. So if we can fix some of that with the PS1 and the PS2, I'm on board completely with that. Even the PSP, I guess, because with like the Vita, one of the best aspects of the Vita is you had access to like PS1 games right there as like a handheld, and PSP games. Well, was really cool.
No, you had it with the PlayStation TV as well, but none of you bastards embraced it. You didn't love it.
I did.
Mine, I imported mine from Japan.
Talking about
I wanted
chat bastards.
Chat ones.
No, because I had one of those. Still have it somewhere. God only knows where. And I thought that was a really cool device, but it's just weird. I think one of the problems is that Sony tends to like get an idea and then they start up the idea and then they kind of get bored with the idea, I feel. Whereas Microsoft's just, they'll stick with things until like they absolutely have to abandon it. Sony seems a lot more fickle.
Yeah, we've seen this with the iToy, PlayStation Move, PlayStation Vita, Judgment, the
iJudgment.
You see them bring these products to market, and even the PlayStation VR to a certain extent. Sony really didn't commit to that for a long term.
PS
you brought it to
Now.
market, and then they backtrack on it very quickly once it doesn't really grasp that
crazy?
User base.
People still think PlayStation Now is a streaming service.
Because they never go out there and say otherwise.
Every time I talk about it, I have to be like, you can also download games, and half the people who watch are like, wait, really? You can download most of it? Yeah, everything but the PS3 basically you can download.
It's just because Sony introduced it as like it was introduced in a certain way.
That was an option.
They didn't really market
the marketing around the subscription service, and that's why it's stuck at about 3 million.
You can already download PS2 games on your PS5 and play them natively.
Mm-hmm.
Rogue Galaxy, it's phenomenal game.
It's not native. It's back compatible with PS4.
Yeah,
I know what he's saying.
Yeah. But like, you're not streaming it basically. You're just downloading it. You're playing on your system.
But you can just buy that game normally too, though, right?
You can. Yeah, that's what I mean, though. So we see these games already there, and like that's why a lot of people have been saying, "Look, why don't you put more of these legacy titles in PlayStation Now?" And I guess technically they're going to do that, but they're going to wipe out PlayStation Now's like branding, which makes sense.
Think of this new service as essentially, yes, they're merging PlayStation Now and PlayStation Plus. But think of it more as they are expanding upon those services. They want to reach more people. Right now, Sony has 50 million PlayStation Plus subscribers. They have 3 million PlayStation Now subscribers. Now, by merging these together, you're going to make such an expansive service where all of a sudden, all those PlayStation Plus people are going to say, wow, look at this. I have access to these legacy games. It's for Sony really to basically make those PlayStation Now subscribers into Plus subscribers and get these higher tiers. I mean, it's a subscription service. It's the way to make more money.
That and if you're a PlayStation Plus subscriber now, going into that, like launching, you're probably going to have stuff put in front of you that's like, hey, you're on like the bottom tier. Do you want to go up for like an extra $2 a month or something like that, or $3 a month? And you might see people just throw in a couple extra bucks per month just to upgrade or go all the way to like what are they even going to call it? PlayStation Plus Platinum, PlayStation Plus Plus. Like, I don't even know what they're going to call it by retaining that PlayStation Plus.
Cubed. PlayStation Squared, PlayStation Plus Squared,
PlayStation Square Root,
PlayStation Premium.
Get some great terms going.
I don't know. What do you think about this, Gene? We're going into like this subscription future. Eventually at the point where it's like the battle of the subscription services, it feels like.
Yeah, Nintendo's not going to give up on their subscription service either. I asked Doug Bowser directly a couple weeks ago. I was like, why do you guys not have like the Wii Shop and the eShop for the 3DS and the Wii? Because that the selection there was so robust and so cool. And it's remarkable that you guys aren't just repeating that for the Switch, which is an actually popular product. And he basically said that we're just going to double down on the subscription and this whole expansion pack thing, and we're going to continue to have more offerings there. He wasn't obviously he wasn't going to be specific about that, but yeah, it just seems like that now that I guess since we're console manufacturers and we're basically charging people to access the internet, we the things are changing, and now we just got to throw in a couple more bones for people to make that more attractive.
I think Nintendo is going to expand their tiers as well, because if Sony shows up with something that adds up to like $150 a year, Microsoft has something like that. I mean, Nintendo could probably test the market with more money and put more stuff in it.
But what could they do to really compete with these services? Nintendo seems reluctant to actually include some of their own software in it. If we were seeing Nintendo attach indie games that they have published, like Snipper Clips or Good Job, to NSO, I would say they're showing that ambition where they want to create more value to the service. But their reluctance to do that really makes you wonder, is this simply a way for Nintendo to have a service out there that has a high return on investment? Whereas Sony and Microsoft are willing to operate at a loss to build a user base with these services, and Nintendo seems to be purely operating for profit.
Yeah, exactly. Nintendo's just a more conservative company than both of them,
You're getting Paper Mario for the N64.
Okay, so hold on.
Greatest fucking thing ever.
Stop burying Paper Mario. Okay,
Clips would be amazing. Actually, I will play that one if it's for free.
Right, exactly, and that would create more value to the service if you saw Nintendo bring some of these indie games that they've published to the service, because you'd say, wow, it's more than just those back catalog of games I've played over the years on these retro consoles. Now it's actually modern new releases. And I know they do the game trials for 1 week, but they just had one a few weeks ago. I forget the game, but
they did The World Ends With You.
Yeah, they had The World Ends With You. They have had those NSO exclusives, Tetris 99, Pac-Man 99, the short-lived Mario 35. But give me some of those smaller games that really haven't sold well for Nintendo. Good job. Anyone buy that? Anyone remember it came out? No. So give us that on NSO and just give that value a little more perception on the service so people feel more comfortable subscribing to something that's beyond.
1-2 Switch is still like $50. Like, just give that away for free. Like,
perfect game to be that NSO introductory. Thank you for your subscription. Here's 1-2 Switch. Yeah, it's kind of offensively bad. You might have fun if you're drunk with your family.
Thank you. I'm not thanking them for that. I'm going to unsubscribe if they throw that in there.
That actually would be a pretty good pack-in game for like. I'm surprised they didn't do that as like a Black Friday deal instead of like Mario Kart, because Mario Kart just sells every time anyway.
Yeah,
that's a great holiday bundle. It's the same one they've had for multiple years.
But the thing is, it's crazy. It keeps selling
now. It's traditional.
It keeps selling.
I don't know. I don't know if including 1-2 Switch is a better idea than including Mario Kart.
You should definitely give away Mario Kart over 1-2 Switch for sure.
Mario Kart, and they're like, okay, Mario Kart's better than 1-2 Switch. So they don't want to pay more if it's Mario Kart.
1-2 Switch is 1-2 Switch is a good way to introduce people to like the functions of the Joy-Con, because that's what they used to show the system off originally when we went to these like preview events.
It was all about the ice cubes and milking a cow.
Yeah, you had to stare at each other and milk a cow for like way too long.
Yeah, that's how the Wii took off with Wii Sports. And that's what Wii Sports was.
Hey, Wii Sports was so much better than 1-2 Switch.
I mean,
how do we not have a Wii Sports?
Wii Sports is considerably better than 1-2 Switch will ever be.
I agree, but if you have a family, especially Switch is a family system, 1-2 Switch is great for families.
Man, my daughter hated that shit. I don't know, man. My daughter and my fam hated that shit, man.
Okay, but as someone,
it's not a bad idea.
For families,
1-2 Switch comes preloaded on the system, and then you get an actual copy of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
No, you only get that digital copy, sir. We got to save money.
So they should include something like Clubhouse games. That would be be cool. Something like that.
Yeah, that's a good one. Clubhouse games.
That's actually a good game. That actually has good games. You can play with the family. That one's so much better than 1-2 Switch should be just online. So just give it away. It should be that, but it shouldn't be put front and center for on a packaging or anything. Nah, not that game.
Yeah, see, what this discussion shows is how far behind Nintendo is with their current subscription model once Sony brings theirs to market.
That's going to be interesting because we're going to have a lot. I assume. I mean, PS1, PS2. These games think are going to get dropped over we'll say the course of the first year, Nate.
Course of the first year?
Like how many are they going to show up with from when they start to 12 months later? Okay, let's look back on this service.
I mean, I know the plan is to have hundreds of games available on this service.
See, if that would.
What are we at on NSO right now?
130
across 3 platforms.
I'm trying to think just because we got all those 64 and Genesis games thrown in. I'm trying to think of where we are now. I feel like it's 130 to 140. Someone probably in the chat.
How many Genesis games are there? There's 16? How much?
In the teens, I think it's
NSO there's 8. Yeah, I think there's 120 something, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. So but that's the thing though. People are going to look at, because remember PS1 is basically N64 era, right? So people are going to look at that and say, well, these are N64 era level, right? In terms of the 3D quality. But then you get the PS2 games thrown in there. People are still asking for GameCube, and then we're talking about PS3 titles, right? And PSP, and that. There's people are going to see those as more value, I would say, than Nintendo games, for example, NES games. So yeah, you're right, Nate. Sony could show up and be like, look, we're going to get more money for this because of that. So that's one of the reasons I think you could see Nintendo go, well, okay, bring in the GameCube games. Let's go up to $100 a year.
I mean, that's going to be a long-term thing for Nintendo. And with PlayStation 1 games, it kind of has that appeal that the N64 games had coming to NSO prior to, knowing the emulation state of it. But I mean, if Sony can come to market with, just as example of games, Metal Gear Solid 1, Resident Evil 2, 3, Resident Evil 1, those type of third party, Silent Hill 1, those type of games, that's just a lot more exciting than Quest 64.
Is it though?
Hoping.
Yes.
I'm hoping for Jim Ryan, Sony CEO, is a huge fan of Jumping Flash, so I'm hoping for the grand return of Jumping Flash on this new service. Jumping Flash 1 and 2, both of those games rule.
I mean, I would like to hear that Sony becomes very aggressive with their legacy software and show up with some pretty cool surprises.
They are very committed to this. They're going to be very aggressive with this. They are in discussions with third parties to see what titles are possible to come to this service. So Sony is doing their due diligence here. This isn't some half-ass project for them.
Here's the real question. Can I put a PS1 disc in and get the game just like I can on the Xbox?
No.
Not the PS1, but the original Xbox.
They don't read discs. They won't read PS1 discs, PS2 discs, or PS3 discs.
Interesting. Okay.
Nope. You're gonna have to rebuy them. So it's not true backward compatibility, I guess, is what you're asking, right? You already own it.
Yes.
It's not true back compatible.
Well, we know that the Xbox, the way it works is it reads the disc, makes sure he has it, and then it downloads the game, right? That's how it works.
This is not going to do that. I think this is basically you're subbed on this service, and then you have to pick these games. And that's it.
Okay.
I don't think the PS5 would even recognize those discs in the first place, right?
No.
Yeah. Can you even play CDs on the PS5, like music CDs? I don't know.
That's a good question. I don't think so. I don't believe you can. I know you can. Obviously, you can play Blu-ray movies and DVDs movies, but I don't think you can play regular CDs.
MVG, tell me about this PS3. Okay, how am I going to play this natively on the system through emulation?
Well, it's going to be awesome. So you're gonna pick the game, and it's going to say connecting to the cloud, and it may have a little bit of compression. But you won't notice it. There may be a little bit of input lag, not much, just a touch, and you'll be playing PS3 games through the cloud. It's going to be awesome.
Games still run at 720p, I believe.
Well, MVG, I will give a Spawncast exclusive.
Okay.
What?
Okay. Serious.
Go on.
You're correct. PlayStation 3 games will be streamed as part of this service. You are 100% correct on that.
Don't throw away the PS3s. Do not junk your PS3s just yet. There's still a lot of them out there. I actually just got a PS3 that's backwards compatible with all the way through to PS1, except for a few games. I think like Xenosaga doesn't work very well, but most of the games work just fine. They're still out there, so don't get rid of it just yet. Is that what you're saying, MVG?
Yeah, I mean, I think honestly, I mean, it's based on the report. It said that they were investing in cloud, and for me, what I took away from that is, yeah, sure, they're going to do cloud, but I think they're really going to shore up the PlayStation 3 cloud experience, because right now it's not very good for those people that have tried it. It's okay when it works, but most of the time it's pretty bad. So I think they're just going to really tighten that up and make it a competitor to something like xCloud or Stadia, for PlayStation 3 games, which if they can get it to that level, I think it's going to be pretty good for most people.
Yeah. Still, though, that means that Metal Gear Solid 4 Metal Gear Solid 4 is still stuck.
Potentially.
Still stuck.
But yeah, I mean, this will be. It's at least. I mean, it's one of those cases of, would you rather have PlayStation 3 as a streamable service, or would you rather have no access to PS3 at all?
No access.
Kind of one of those cases.
Yeah.
Give me it perfect or nothing. No, I'm joking.
I guess that's true. Yeah.
It needs to be exactly what I want, or nobody gets it.
I assume this service that they're going to have, they would also have it streamable to PC. You think they'll go to cell phones as well?
Maybe.
I actually have not heard any mention of the service being PC or.
Well, you can use PlayStation.
Platform.
You can do PS Now on PC now. That's why I'm saying that.
Yeah, I think there's a path
you can stream it.
To do that.
Yeah, you can actually. I mean, you can also remote play your PlayStation to your. Okay.
But the fact that this is going to be under the PlayStation Plus brand and not PlayStation Now may prevent that from being PC.
I'm starting to realize I'm probably one of the only people in the world to subscribe to to PlayStation Now and use it on my PC.
I have. I don't use it on my PC, but I have a subscription to it.
I used it like a couple times to test it out, and it was quite poor. It was not very good. It's still 720p, and
it's not great.
Input latency's pretty bad. So
I just saw people playing it. I'm just like, and they're just, man, why is my controls delayed?
You know what's crazy though? Because you can download 80% of the library, it's actually like 2 to 3 times larger than Game Pass in terms of the game catalog.
There's a lot of stuff on there, and you're right.
Surprising.
I mean, I think the marketing around it is like, this is a streaming platform only, but there's actually a lot of native stuff that you can download and play on that service.
Does Sony even tweet about it on Twitter? They don't even tweet about it.
Barely talk about this thing.
Or even make videos on it, or they don't do anything on it, which is, I think that's why people still feel that way, or still they don't know.
I think the last time we heard
mentioned State of Play or anything like that, it's just never mentioned ever.
I think the last time we heard PlayStation Now mentioned in any capacity was when Grand Theft Auto. Was it Grand Theft Auto 3 was added to the service day one? Or was just added next week?
Yeah, it's gonna. Because it's gonna come out when the physical copies were supposed to release. But they've done some weird things with the service too, like Red Dead Redemption 2. The weird thing about that is it was a download only game. You could not stream it, which was very weird. That was the first one to do it.
Yeah, someone in the chat just said, Retrig202 said, just popped in an audio CD into my PS5 and can confirm it does not read /play. So there you go.
Yet.
You go. Thank you. Yeah.
Yet.
Yeah. You first of all, you actually have a CD, which is crazy. So.
I'm excited to see what the service brings. So hopefully, if the emulation's not bad. Hopefully, as long as the emulation's good, because I saw what they did with that PlayStation Classic, and that was
a rush product.
That was sad.
That was a rush product, but I think it's going to surprise some people.
People don't remember that they already have PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 emulators. Like the PS2 Classics that you can purchase and play, that's running PS2 emulation native, and there's also PS1 Classics, which was running PlayStation 1. So those emulators already exist. It's really now just a matter of refining them, tweaking them, getting them ready for this batch of games that are coming out. So yeah, I think it's going to be a fine product when it comes out.
I mean, I would say the main thing of concern is going to be that pricing structure. This is Sony. We know they like to charge a premium, but I don't think they're going to come out with something outlandish like $200 a year for their highest tier. They have to come in something that's reasonable for the consumer to really look at it and say, I want to play these PS1, PS2, PSP, and PS3 games, plus some of the other services that would be part of it, and say, okay, let's say it's $150 a year. That's reasonable. because of what you are delivering here. But
Game Pass Ultimate is $180 a year. So you think Sony comes in comparable or less than that?
I think they have to come in less just based on the principle that they're not going to have day one exclusives available on the service.
$150
this
maybe.
Pricing structure is going to be really weird because if you have to sandwich it between $50 a year, that's how much PSN costs, right? PS Plus
60,
and then like you can't go as high as 180, so it's somewhere between.
Well, here's the interesting thing.
Tiers. Like it's going to be weird with that.
PlayStation Plus is 60. PlayStation Now is 60, so 120.
Yeah.
Maybe a little more for all the classics.
Yeah, maybe 120 is tier 2, and then
but then now you have tiers
higher.
Yeah, and then you have tiers. Like you got to price, but you can't price it as high as Game Pass. So you got to work within the. So it's gonna look oblong. I think it's gonna look kind of weird with the tiers, just because
pricing's gonna be
where
important.
You have to put it. Yeah, it's just
Very
gonna look weird. Not that it won't be worth it. I'm just over subscription services because like I'm just like there's just too many at this point. It's like it's getting to the point where it's like movies or it's like the Disney Plus, Paramount Plus, all this it's just like okay, I'm good. You know, like
I think that's
remember that cheaper than cable until you get 30 services and you're paying more than cable.
Dude, screw. I haven't had cable. I've never paid for cable in my life. My mom has, but I've never paid for it.
I just think we're going to get to a point where every company who controls enough games is just going to have a subscription service.
Yeah, I'm just like, bro,
I think it's how it's going to work. They're all going to have their own launchers, and
I still think it can be good though. Because it looks like with the whole classic stuff, looks like they're kind of do like a little bit of a hybrid between what Microsoft is doing, and what Nintendo's doing, like a kind of like, but like maybe the best of both of them and trying to make it better or whatever. So that's cool for people who are into that.
A lot of games they can pull from the PS1, PS2, PSP library. That's like, a lot of good RPGs could get thrown in there. They could do some good platformers.
As I said, their goal is to have hundreds of games on this service. And as I saw in the chat, we have to remember what Game Pass Ultimate is. Microsoft does take a loss. So it's a matter of how much of a loss is Sony willing to bet on the introduction of this higher tier service. Are they willing to lose $100 per subscription just to build up that base and eventually be able to, become profitable? Or are they going to say we have to come to close to breaking even, if not actually turn a profit? So that's really going to come into play too when it comes time to introduce the pricing structure.
They could also throw like Crunchyroll in there or something, just other things outside of that, just to kind of build out an entertainment platform. And that's not going to cost that much of anything to throw that in there, just to be like, you have a Crunchyroll subscription as well, just because. They get creative and just stack more and more stuff up on it.
That creates more of a loss though, because now you're not getting that Crunchyroll sub from them, so that even creates more of a loss on top of it. The good thing though, maybe not the good thing, but they're not including big PS5 games. So I know Microsoft includes all of their big PS5 games, so that contributes towards the loss, because it's like, well, we're developing Starfield. This game's like $1 billion, but it's going right there on that service, So that's Phil Spencer was probably like, damn it, but we'll do it. That's got to be a tough pill to swallow. And I don't think Sony wants to go there just yet, because they make a lot of money off like The Last of Us and all that crap. I'm not sure if they're going to do that, but
those subscription services that get way up there, like 100 some odd million subscription services.
It would have to be like $300 a year for it to actually be like
a lot
profitable, really profitable, right? Like
my 12 months of Game Pass has run out, so I'm paying the monthly rate now. So they got me, because I don't want to cancel it. You know what I mean? Like they got me. They got me for a while. So
Halo Infinite
they're getting my money back out of me one way or the other. They're making the money out of me.
All you got to do is buy a box of Pop-Tarts. You can get it for $1, bro. I've done that like multiple times. You might gain some weight, but at least you give them to your kids. I don't know, hand it out to somebody, but you can have yourself Game Pass for a box of Pop-Tarts.
I just want someone from Microsoft to give me Game Pass again.
I'm looking forward to what they have, just to see what they can throw into the market and shake things up a bit when it comes to the legacy software. Speaking of which, Sean, you made a video on Nintendo. That was their Paper Mario release for the 64.
Awesome,
that's the 10th, right?
Yep, such a great value.
Hold on, before you destroy them, hold on. Paper Mario is very good and everyone should play it.
Oh, yeah, that's not the point.
Everyone should play it.
The point is Nintendo just looks stupid at this point in time. When you introduce a premium service for $50 a year, you give it the family pass. Shut up. It's $50 a year. It becomes, you expect more. And I think my biggest beef with it is that they don't have a roadmap. They don't have any sort of indication. And I hate roadmaps, like for games and shit. Like, we're gonna do DLC in 4 months. Got a new skin. I'm
Worked
talking
out really
about
well for vendors.
Right. I'm talking about more so like, okay, at the start of the month, you're going to get games with gold games. At the start of the month, you're going to get PlayStation Now games. You don't know any of this shit with Nintendo.
There's no schedule at all. Yeah.
Yeah. So you build up expectations that, okay, well, we went from 2, so you literally doubled the systems you have. Mm-hmm. And there are hundreds of Genesis games, hundreds of NES games, hundreds of Famicom games that you could actually do a text translate on. But, God forbid, that's too much work. Super Nintendo games, and you release one game for 4 systems. Like that's ridiculous to me. But it's just, it's so out of touch. Like, it does nothing to increase value to the service. We knew that this game was going to be coming to the service. You already told me 10 more of these games are coming. I don't expect you to do, 4 or 5 N64 games a month, because you would run out in like a year. Let's be realistic. 40 to 50 really good N64
how many
games.
N64 games are there? Just under 400 total?
Oh, no.
There's about 300 games?
300,
yeah, about 300 games on N64.
And over half of them are sports games or licensed titles.
Racing games, sports.
I mean, racing games.
Kobe Bryant's Courtside. I used to play that back in the day.
Hell yeah, that was actually on the GameCube version of the game. That's the only game where you can choose to hang on the rim, and if you hang on the rim for too long, you'll get a technical foul.
Yeah, you get the tech.
Right.
Yeah.
No other basketball game since
that's true
before that or since then has done that. Which
ahead of its time.
I mean, yeah. But no. So like,
I get Kobe though, man.
Right. I get only doing 1 or 2 N64 games at a time. I get that. The problem is you have 3 other systems that you could supplement that one N64 game with to make it look like a perceived value, and they're absolutely dropping the ball. And you can't give them the benefit of the doubt, because they started out good with the NES stuff. It was pretty much monthly. You got 3 or 4 games. Same thing with the Super Nintendo. You got like 3 or 4 games, and they started combining them, and you got
they were on a roll there for a little while, at least in the beginning. They were just releasing at least game after game after game monthly.
It's fallen off of a cliff, and in light of what Xbox is doing, in light of what Sony appears to be bringing to the table, it just looks silly. And then of course you have the whole fact that there's issues with the emulation, that the internet for some people isn't really good, and it just, I don't know, it's just ridiculous to me.
Yeah, to Sean's point, like Nintendo has a real fundamental misunderstanding of what a subscription means, and you guys are all content creators. Like you guys know what it means to retain subscribers. I've been working in newspaper business for 20 years. You need to be able to set some sort of expectation for the audience. So if they're going to be buying in and subscribing to something, people need to know what they're getting for that investment. And Nintendo, for now, for some reason, is not doing that at all.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see how Sony approaches it when they do their stuff next year. Just to see, I guess, maybe a contrast in approach there, just differences. But that's the part that's kind of annoying, is like maybe they could break it up, like how they have a release schedule or release lineup for a lot of their first party titles, like Kirby coming out in the spring. Maybe they show the 64 games, they break it up into like, okay, you got one coming up these coming up in the fall, spring, because they're just 64 games that they would just put on the service anyway.
One from each platform every month. One
That's
N64,
not a bad idea. I'm surprised there was
one Genesis, one NES, one Super Nintendo every single month. I don't think that should be something that should be too much of a problem. So I agree there, but I'm not even going to act like I care about playing it, because I'm not going to act like I care, because I don't put any time into these old school games. But I think I see what Sean is saying. I think that there should definitely be a roadmap. Just once per month, you have one from each, and even maybe some months you don't have an N64 game, okay, but you still have a Genesis game, you still have a Super Nintendo game, you still have an NES game. But I will say that even when they were doing all that every single month, people were still butthurt and raging online, even when they were doing that too. But yeah, they definitely need to do a better job. But people were crazy even when they were doing once a month with a bunch of different games. So I think that until they get it to the point to where people feel like they're getting it for free, or it's like Game Pass, that's when people will probably stop. And I don't know if they'll ever get to that point, but that would be the only way that people would actually feel like everybody would say it's worth it. Because if it's something like Game Pass, where you're getting brand new games, you can play your classics. I mean, Microsoft's system, the way that it's built, is just really good. So it makes everybody else look silly, right? Because you can play all your classics if you have the disc. You can play everything, you know? Plus you can buy it. Plus there's Game Pass. Plus there's all sorts of stuff. So it just makes everybody look bad in comparison, like really bad, right?
Well,
the Xbox Series.
Is the expansion pass, is that a one-time? You can't do monthly?
I thought it was you had to purchase it for a year.
You had to pay
that was
for a year.
For an entire year.
Yeah, purchase the whole year once.
I didn't
That's right.
end up getting it, so I wouldn't know. Like, I still don't have it because it's not worth it to me.
That was my favorite thing for MVG. I'll just get it next month. I'll tell you guys how it is. This guy's he's gonna learn real quick when he gets that side page.
I was so mad when I found out that he couldn't pay for a month's worth.
I would like to think, though, unless it automatically rolls over and people just forget about it, like the beautiful thing about subscription services for businesses is they know that people will forget. And so that's what they bank on, is you forgetting you have a sub. So if you forget, that's why people also love, businesses love free trials, because you forget the 2 weeks is up and then they charge you and then you complain. Or other services too, you see a lot in like the fashion online websites. Well, they'll be like, oh, it's like a premium membership. You pay like a small fee, you can get a discount, and then you just got to cancel it after. But people forget. So then it's like they charge you $40-50 per month after the fact, and people are like, hold up, wait. And
that sounds like that hit kind of close to home there, Click.
Yeah, believe me, I heard. I was like, what the heck? I'm already getting charged for this. But it's a very real thing where businesses look forward to that. I would like to think that if people remember, like if by the end of your subscription renewal, right? If this still does not feel worth it to you, you need to be intentional about not resubbing for that, because we who want improvement want to see a decline in numbers to where hopefully it gets a fire under their butt. I would like to think that, maybe things got delayed, maybe they didn't have everything ready for the launch, but for me, that doesn't seem like it'd be something to be difficult to give you something that feels like it's bang for your buck. Do
you know what Paper Mario felt like? Because I almost wasn't even expecting them to do anything before the end of the year with the 64 stuff, and they would start next year. I always felt like they were just trying to push something out for the holiday and like, just throw Paper Mario out there. We'll be back in January or something. I don't know. It just it seems weird that it's out there by itself. It's strange.
I don't agree with that. I think what has happened is that there's been issues with the emulation, right? We've talked about it in the past, but I think Paper Mario is good enough where they can release it and not have any complaints about the emulation. I'm hopeful that's what they're going to do. Like, I think they're going to really test these games before they release them. Okay. I feel like Paper Mario is one that kind of, runs really well, so they're confident enough that they can drop it. So I kind of felt like maybe they had a couple more games potentially that they wanted to give us, but they're just holding them back because they're still not quite ready emulation wise. Of course, when it does drop and if it runs like garbage, I'm going to be making a video on it. But I'm hopeful that it's going to run. It's going to run well. That's kind of what I took away from.
I guess it is a turn-based RPG, so there's not as much necessarily when it comes to like an action game or something. You still have to press the button and do certain mini games basically when you're in the middle of the battle, but it's not. Probably won't be as noticeable. Like Ocarina of Time has some crazy input lag that like. I noticed. I don't necessarily notice it all the time for those kind of games, but that one I noticed, especially going back to the original to 64, still input lag there. Not as bad though. So maybe that is the case, and I actually hope that's the case. MG is they're like, oh, we got to fix these things, or at least.
And I know I'm asking for a lot, but I'm hopeful they have silently fixed Ocarina of Time as well. So I will check that out as well and just take a look at it.
Yeah, I heard you say that on Twitter. I'm hoping that they do that too.
Do you think that they will have one of those silent release games where it's basically a save state that they put on a game and it's like it teleports the end of the game or does something different?
Yep.
Do you think they'll do that with a 64 game though?
No. No, are you out of your mind?
I don't think they'll do that. No, it'd be nice, but I can't see that.
64 is the crustiest Nintendo system of all time. The crustiest main Nintendo system of all time.
The 64
NES and N64, the two crustiest Nintendo systems.
They walked so the next generations can kind of run, and then with
I know, I'm just saying those systems are crusty though, man. Like for real, like they really are. Like Super Nintendo just feels so much smoother for some reason. I don't know. Whenever you play Super Nintendo, whenever you play GameCube, heck, even like look at all the Wii U games that came over to Switch that are great. Like
respect the elders. Okay.
The problem is right now the 64 is actually like attainable. The GameCube, dude, I was at that convention. This is not accessible right now. It's getting ugly right now.
GameCube's getting really bad. Like it's getting. Did you see how much Fire Emblem is now?
I was at the convention. Too many games. people were trying to sell it for over $300 there.
Yeah, exactly. Like they were trying to sell it for over 300. Like it's getting to the point to where it's crazy because Fire Emblem, that game a few years ago, you could probably get it for like 70.
I mean, it's a good game, but it's like, is this thing worth an Xbox Series S?
Yeah, but now it's like over 300 for Fire Emblem. It's getting pretty nuts with the prices. Like I think Melee's up to like almost 100 now, which that game was always under 100.
There were a lot of Melee copies of Melee out there. It's not like a rare game necessarily.
It's not a rare game, but even then, but having a game that sold that much, be upward of that price, that's because that game sold like I think that game sold like 7 million copies or something like that. So there's a lot of them out there, you know?
Yeah. So like I tell people, hey, it's a great system. You should check it out. Then I look at the games. I'm like, oof, I don't know if I can tell someone to spend hundreds of dollars on one of those games right now.
I find it funny that GameCube's all the rage now because I remember all the times that we were freaking made fun of and called it was like
GameCube was bodied back in the day.
Yeah.
Man.
The market just decided.
Like, hold up.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting? Did you read the stuff from VGC where they talked to a lot of people who were there in development of the system, and they were even like, I don't know if this is a good idea to put the system out there like that. And they were right. Nintendo was just like, nah, we're doing it. And I guess they got development kits out late and all this other stuff too. There's a lot of stuff apparently with the development of that system.
I enjoyed it, so I'll take it.
I back in the day, I loved it. I still played the hell out of it. Double Dash and everything that came out for Wind Waker, Twilight Princess. They had a bunch of incredible games.
I had one in my car.
What?
Yeah.
I had
the little screen that you got from GameStop or whatever, or Funko Land back in the day.
Yeah, the Intech screen, and I had a Ford Explorer, and I put it on the armrest. Yeah, and like we used to go like 8-9 deep in there, just like high as hell in like a parking lot somewhere, playing Rocky and Street Hoops. Street Hoops was the big game. That's what we all played. We had like competitions and stuff.
We used to play Madden after football practice. We would play Madden.
You still have that you still have that Intech screen, Sean?
I wish. Street Hoops when you had NBA Street 2.
Sean, you look up the price of that Intech screen recently?
No, it's probably a lot. I'm sure.
It is a lot. It is like $180 for the screen now.
Volume 2 was freaking incredible.
Sure, yeah, I got it on sale for like 70 or 80.
Okay. And was it NBA Street 2 or 3 where you could play Mario and Luigi?
3.
That's 3. 3's not as good as 2 though. V2 was like 2 revolutionary.
Yeah, 2 was the
original
peak of that franchise.
I don't know, the original just something about sitting down on the PS2.
The original didn't have the amount of use of they added was just so much better in V2.
That was just that first time you turn it on the PS2, you're like, oh my god.
Well, because it was like, yo, this is like NBA Jam, but like even like more cool because now you can actually do like tricks, you know? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's a video game, Jordan. It counts.
Yeah, I count.
Well, which one's better? Real quick, before we move on, which one's better? What you guys like, NBA Street or NBA Jam?
Jam personally for the
way, baby.
Yeah, the left to right.
Street 3 was the one with Mario characters, right?
Yeah, V3.
Bro, I played the heck out of that one. There's something so funny about LeBron James just going up against Mario, man. Mario was like,
snitch.
Okay.
I don't know. The announcer does put Jam over the top,
Jam
but
like incredible.
Street was awesome.
Yeah.
And you could play Street better. Street played better.
Bill Clinton.
Yeah, Street did play better.
That's true. That's true. Like, you could. They didn't have Jordan though. There was no Jordan in Jam
because of Chaos in the Windy City.
Yeah, I didn't show up.
Chaos in the Windy City.
Wow, that's a throwback. Holy crap!
Do you
Chaos in Windy City isn't that
ruined
bad.
Everything.
It was designed by Amy Hennig.
That game's hot dookie. That game's trash. It pissed me off back in the day. Don't know.
It pissed me off because as a child, I knew that's why Michael Jordan was in NBA Jam because like the fucking mags would say that like GamePro and EGM. They're like, oh, there's no Jordan. And I'm like, why is he doing this? And I didn't even have a Super Nintendo. I had a Sega Genesis. So I was like, this bastard is ruining my Genesis experience by being selfish.
Okay, I got a poll. Poll's running.
Oh, is it Jam versus
run? Oh, how do I remove this? Okay, hold on.
Is it Jam versus Street?
Yeah. Oh. We'll see which one wins.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean,
it depends on how old our base is. If Street wins, then it's a lot of early 20s.
One was an arcade machine. The other one was not.
But we've also
just asked
had
which series is better.
releases of NBA Jam. We had it on the Wii, the PS3.
Yep. There was NBA Jam 2010. There was the Beastie Boys were in that one. You guys remember that one? The Beastie Boys are in there.
One time.
Let's go, Evan. We're gonna go to a Discord question in 1 second. Gene, I got it. We have a serious question to ask you right here, right now.
No.
Okay.
Oh God, no.
Oh no.
You have to pick one. N64 or GameCube.
I have to pick one.
Yeah, you got to pick one.
Oh, well, actually, the Nintendo 64 is the only Nintendo machine I never ever owned. So I would have to say GameCube.
All right, there we go. Well done.
Yeah, you never got to experience the gaming masterpiece of the Chameleon Twist.
I mean, OJ is out here saying that they're crusty, and I'm like, man, I don't even know. I never had one. The only way I ever experienced a Nintendo 64 was when I used to go to Blockbuster whenever the new Zelda game came out, and I'll be like, okay, there's a new Zelda. I'm gonna rent the Nintendo 64 for like 4 weeks, I guess, and then just do that. And that's how I played Smash. That's how I played Zelda. That's how I played Mario. I would go to my friend's house and play Mario there, but I never like owned a Nintendo 64 because.
So GameCube is better. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I bought the GameCube, and like the GameCube was like my return back to Nintendo, basically.
Everybody,
did you hear that, MVG? Did you hear what he said? Gene Park?
He was on
writer
mute.
from the Washington Post.
He was on mute.
Gamer for how many years you been gaming now? 30 plus years, 30, 40 years been gaming? Did you hear what he said, MVG? Did you hear?
The only reason people will pick the GameCube over the N64 is if they don't like Mario and don't like Zelda. Because the better Mario game is on the N64. The better Zelda game is on the N64.
Hold on. Which Zelda game? Wait. You say Ocarina of Time? The one that's on
the one that's on the GameCube?
That doesn't not natively.
The one that's better? That's better on the GameCube? That one?
But where did it originally release on? Are we gonna start saying that the fucking 32X is the best system of all time?
How about this one, RGT? How about this one? Which one you take? You take Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask versus Wind Waker and Twilight Princess.
Whoa, that's
weird.
Tough
because
that's weird. That's like asking who your favorite child is. You can't.
That's tough because
it's a very simple thing to do. You take the GameCube because Twilight Princess is just like Wind Waker, or Twilight Princess is just like Ocarina of Time. Maybe it's not as good, and Wind Waker is by far, in my opinion, by far better. But hey, it's Wind Waker. Wind Waker is awesome. That art style's great.
You're ruining your argument, OJ. I'm trying to help you and you're ruining it.
Go ahead.
Okay, because if I had to go in order with those games, like if you told me go 1 through 4, I'll probably catch these for this. I don't give a fuck. Ocarina, Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, Majora. I'm not a Majora's Mask.
Bam. GameCube. So GameCube's better than you got two. You got two of the top ones there. You take the GameCube there.
However, I feel like the weight of Super Mario 64 is definitely a lot heavier than Super Mario Sunshine.
Yeah,
so
I agree with that.
So I mean, that sort of brings.
Let me ask you a question, RGT. How's Metroid on the N64?
Ooh. I mean, ask Nintendo why they didn't do anything.
Fire Emblem was pretty good on the 64.
How's Fire Emblem on the N64? Fire Emblem pretty good?
Nobody cared about that until like 5 years ago.
Oh, nobody cared. Oh, nobody cares about it. Okay,
nobody cared about it. Nobody cared about it until Awakening.
Pikmin good? Nobody cares about that game. Yeah, nobody cares about that.
Nobody still cares about Pikmin.
I mean, no one talks about the original Smash, never.
About Smash Brothers, which one's better, Melee or N64?
I think Melee's. I don't like Melee because you got all these smelly people on Twitter that are obsessed with Melee. We need Melee to play.
This is what N64 people do. They constantly make excuses for all the games.
Dude, Metal Gear. How
about Metal Gear? Is Metal Gear? How good is Metal Gear on the N64? Good Metal Gear?
Win back on there.
Sean, here's the real question.
Win back, yeah.
Which system between the N64 and the GameCube had the better GoldenEye?
Ooh,
damn. Perfect. Wait, hold up.
Yeah, but GameCube had time splitters.
I would say
and it had Nightfire. Yo, Nightfire's lit.
It had GoldenEye, Rogue Agent, and that game was a pile of shit.
Yeah, but it had Nightfire.
I would say that I like Mario Kart 64 more than Double Dash.
What? Really?
Yeah.
This guy's a fraud.
I'm not a huge fan of Double Dash.
Yeah.
I think I just sold it recently when I moved because I got a copy for like super cheap. I'm never gonna play it.
You sold Double Dash?
Yeah, I don't like Double Dash. Like I will say, the GameCube had much better third-party support. So I would say from that perspective, I definitely like the GameCube, like Godzilla, Destroy All Monsters. I'm just looking over the games here.
Yeah, that's good.
There's my Street Hoops. You got Street Hoops on there.
All I know is you installed one of them in a car and the other one you didn't. So
Soul Calibur 2. Soul Calibur 2 was
really
a huge
wanted
one.
that to follow you around.
I'm saying, okay, but the GameCube was out at the time when I was in high school, and when you go over to your friend's house during a party,
the GameCube released before the 64.
Right? No.
Yo, you're not even.
GameCube. What I'm saying is the GameCube was hot. The GameCube was newer.
It was
at that time in high school. When we would go to parties at somebody's house, did they bust out the GameCube? No, they bust out the N64 and you play Mario Kart.
It depends on what party you went to, bud.
The hood party.
We busted out Double Dash. We played Double Dash. I mean, also GameCube also had Phantasy Star Online, which was nuts.
Star Fox 64 versus Adventures.
Hold up. Assault and Adventures. Hold up here. GameCube got Assault
Adventures.
You're not even talking about Kirby Air Ride. Like,
yeah, GameCube just has way more. It factually has way more than
Ken Griffey.
No Mercy.
Ken Griffey. I said Ken Griffey. Come on.
No, those are some of the best baseball games of all time.
I mean, come on, a baseball game. Come on, man.
The legendary Body Harvest.
64
Mischief Makers.
Hold on, are you reading the end labels on those 64 games?
I am. Thank you, Overthink.
We're about to TP Sean's house. Can we move on?
All right, yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
But you know what? This is just a simple fact. Link to the Past is still the best Zelda game.
Oh my God, bias. Let's go.
I mean, I can't disagree with that.
That is incorrect.
That is correct. That's correct.
Spirit Tracks, obviously.
My Zelda
Phantom Hourglass.
My Zelda Rankings was one of the first articles I wrote in Washington Post.
Next question.
I listed Majora's Mask as number 2.
Really, number 2.
It's not
Yeah,
bad.
it's my second favorite after Breath of the Wild.
Anyone want to play Command and Conquer on GameCube? Oh, you.
Oh my God.
I want to pick.
I don't want to play Command and Conquer at all. Actually,
Sean,
bringing up
your
RTS
camera.
games
Sean,
on
your
consoles.
Sean, you good? You wave?
Yeah, he's
What
good.
happened?
He's good.
He's fine.
He's good on my
dropped
side.
that-
It might be screwing with you.
He dropped to like 5 frames. Thought we were dealing with the 64 there for a minute. Let's move on to the super chats here. This is from Pickett saying, name one game that doesn't exist that you could have right now. For me, Monster Hunter World 2 for next gen and PC.
Say it, MVG.
Silent.
I thought you were going to say it, actually.
I was going to say Breath of the Wild too, but I have to say Silent Hill.
Yeah, we got to go with Silent Hill, right?
Star Fox. Give me something. Star Fox Assault 2. New Star Fox game. Something.
Yeah. Star Fox F-Zero.
Star Fox. Give me Star Fox, please.
Yep.
22 says, I love the show. Did you all score any Cyber Monday deals? I got the 2 terabyte 980 Pros. I got 2 of them for $279 each. That's pretty good. One is in my PS5 already, and the other is in my PC.
I got all this crap.
Too much money.
Oh, okay, nice, very good. You got some physical. Look at that, Guardians.
Yeah, there you go.
Jump Force, the game of the year nominee.
Fighting game of the year nominee.
Been on the servers?
Yakuza Like a Dragon.
That's a good one. Yeah.
And the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Nice.
Am I gonna play them? Who knows?
I did happen. I got the physical copy of Nocturne on the Switch, and it was like $15.
Yeah, good deal.
Had to get that. And then storage. I just get a bunch of SD cards. This is always cheap.
I like buying Xbox stuff because it's like so cool to just like put it in. It's like it's a Series X and then also Xbox One. Everything just works so smooth with Xbox third party, man. So I really like buying them on like third party games on Xbox.
I'm always buying Xbox like third party games on Xbox, like anything multiplayer or I guess Ubisoft. I guess like for some reason I just think of Xbox as like the Ubisoft console. So any Ubisoft games that come out,
that would mean that it was bad. Ubisoft? No, I'm sorry. Don't refer to it as that, please.
Razon says 2 more weeks for PS Vita's 10th birthday. Any plans?
Oh, big plans. Big plans.
On George
on a birthday party in the arcade.
I was thinking of turning it back on and checking out the hit game Unit 13. You know.
Yes.
Hey,
man,
not bad.
I'll make a video. I'll make another video.
There you go. Yeah, I got a video. There we go.
Big
Unit
plans.
13. What an obscure game to reference.
I think they had a demo. I think when the system came out for that.
Yeah, that was hype when it dropped. People
It
were
was.
Like, oh, Unit 13.
To the GameCube conversation, we're all forgetting that Resident Evil 4 came out on GameCube, man. Resident Evil 4.
But it's better on the Wii.
Yeah. It was
easier on the
Wii. It was 10 times better on the Wii. And
just so happened to have a GameCube right here.
Don't pull a Dreamcast, guys.
Remember Turok on the GameCube? Oh, yeah, that was a fucking pile of diarrhea.
Not enough love in that.
Turok on the N64.
I think we can all agree on this, though.
You just insulted NVG. That's a night dive game now.
I said it's crushed on the N64, not on the newer.
No,
system.
he said it sucks ass on the new system.
I think we can all agree that had Resident Evil 4 on the Switch had gyro aiming options, it would be the definitive edition of that title.
Yeah.
This is from Paleo saying, here's a preview for Game of the Year for the next 5 years. The Game Awards, 2021 is Metroid Dread, 2022 is Metroid Prime Remake, 23 is Metroid Prime 4, 2024 is Super Metroid Remake, and then 2025 is just Metroid 6.
I like your optimism.
Sure, if only. Yeah.
It's from Truly Epic. RGT, bring back the old intro.
I have so many intros now. The one I stole
Stevie
from
Richards
Scott. I don't
you
have
might be able
that
to shoot a new one
anymore.
soon.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
This is from Rascal.
Baby. Shoot. We got that 50-50 going on.
There's some Rascal saying, here's $5 to help.
It's in the group chat, Jordan. Sorry you don't check it.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm working on content.
Rascal says, here's $5 to help produce Ski Sniper on Game Builder Garage, MVG. Wink, wink.
Yes, I'm on it.
Adam says, just want to say, love you guys. Really enjoy your content and hearing everyone's input every week on game topics info. Been watching Spawn for 2 years. Wow. Victor says, across the Spider-Verse. Let's go. Spider-Man stays winning. Shout out to the Fringe Factor.
Appreciate it.
This is from Bronze saying, slay them all. No mercy. It's friendly laughter. It's from the Halo AI. And Kevin says, after all parts of Final Fantasy VII Remake finish, which Final Fantasy game would you like to see Square Enix remake next in that style? Final Fantasy VI or 8, and why?
In Final Fantasy VII Remake style? Final Fantasy VII Remake style?
6.
Yeah.
6, come on.
No,
6, but they better not fuck.
They're gonna ruin it.
Well, they would ruin it, but you know,
They're gonna ruin it.
They made 7 Remake good, so I don't know.
They did, but
at the end though.
Yeah, they did, but it's just like 7 Remake is such a individual thing. I don't want to see remakes like that going forward, where they're stripping, taking out part of the game, making it. They're just it's almost like they're retelling, right? It's not quite like a remake.
Exactly.
So I'm just not sure if I want to see all the classic Final Fantasies being remade like that. That to me is just a bit too much.
A modern
one-for-one
retelling of Final Fantasy VI would just, in that type of visual style, it would finally do the game the justice it deserves, because so many people never played 6 and they don't understand when people say it's the best Final Fantasy. They just don't have any reference to it. And 6 was just revolutionary in terms of storytelling, narrative, characters, and everything when it came out on the Super NES. Man, that game is great.
This is from Georgie saying, Gene saw Reddit Halo today. Poor Sketch got abused.
Yeah, I did see that. Sketch had to put out I think the longest post I've ever read from a community manager from a game. But he basically was like, look, you guys are gonna like tear me apart or whatever, but we're really just trying to tell you like what's going on with Halo Infinite. I can't even like sum it up because it's like literally like longer than any article I've ever written before.
I'll look into that.
But you should read it. But like you can tell that they like at least he is extremely frustrated by the feedback that they're getting right now.
Oh, so wow!
It's getting really, really bad on the subreddit on Halo.
Really? Just over the playlists and the progression?
Everything, everything about playlist progression, everything that they put out, they always get all kinds of hate for it, and they say like, we demand what you've been doing for the last 6 years. Why can't you have Slayer playlists? And it's like, okay, well, I do wonder why they didn't have Slayer playlists like available at launch, but like,
it's a staple for Halo.
Yeah, I do wonder that, but then he was also saying like we are under no obligation to dissect the past 6 years to you. So it's like it got pretty spicy. Yeah.
Imagine getting that heated over a free-to-play game. Couldn't be me.
It's a free game. It's a free game.
It's free. Imagine getting that salty about a free-to-play game.
think that you people should complain that they're not happy, but like when you start thinking about getting a class action lawsuit over a game that you're playing for free.
Oh, it's getting that serious now?
Yeah, that's what some people are saying. Well, it's just people talking. Change.org petition.
The way that people are going at him, like
Change.org position might be time to break some records. Then, huh?
Exactly. People are going at him though. Like you can complain and be upset and all that, but like making it seem as if like somebody like kicked your mom in the leg or something like that, or like somebody like personally insulted you. It's like some people are getting a little bit too extra. That's what I meant. Like you can still complain, do whatever you need to do, but like people are getting way too extra with those dudes. Just let them develop. I mean. They'll get. They know. Everybody wants Slayer playlist, right? We all. They know.
They keep saying that same thing over and over again. It's just like, okay, but they literally said that they acknowledge all of that, and you just keep saying the same stuff over and over again. It's dude, just don't play the game anymore, then, man. Come on,
It's because the community thinks it's literally just press this button and we can have this game mode. They don't understand that there is background, and a lot of these things are already in active development. It's not as easy as just flip the switch and you can have it. No, we have to do more work behind the scenes to make this a reality. Half the time developers are well aware of what the community wants before the community asks for it. It's just, it might take us a few months. We hear you, be patient, but the community wants that instant gratification of, I want this now, kind of like the annoying little bitch in Willy Wonka who kept crying to her dad when she wants,
how I want it now. Veruca Salt is her name.
Veruca Salt. Veruca. Gamers are Veruca. They're bad nuts, and the squirrel will throw them down the trash chute.
This is from Zaid saying, thoughts on buying a Series S for exclusives / Game Pass. Already have a PS5. Love the podcast. Awesome. Series S is pretty well available now. I mean, I look at like the Best Buy near me. I can order it and pick it up that same day now. So like, yeah, I think Series S is fine to have if you're interested in seeing what Microsoft is providing now.
Yeah, it's a great little platform. I have one myself. It's just one for the bedroom,
Goofy says, Sean, go Warriors.
The Warriors.
Keep up the hard work, guys.
I don't hate them. I don't hate them. I hated them when Durant went there because it was playing with my friends. I want to win a chip. But they built their team up.
That was kind of corny. I will admit that was kind of corny. But
Radberry says, trying to beat all the Halo campaign solo and legendary before Halo Infinite campaign drops. I'm on the last mission of Halo 4 and dreading Halo 5. Yeah, good luck with that, Halo 5.
Ooh, yeah, dude. I'm actually on a marathon run because I'm gonna rank all the Halos because I just do that now. And I beat Halo 4 and I was already pretty exhausted. I'm like, fuck, I gotta do Halo 5 now. Jesus.
Yep. I'm just ready for the week. Ready for Halo Infinite. Ready to go through that campaign. Sean's actually gonna play it. That's how interested he is right now.
Yeah, I actually put my review to bed today, so I'm happy with it.
This is from okay. No, we'll be checking that out. We'll be checking out this week. Yeah, I'm curious to see what everyone thinks about the reviews. The game's coming out on Wednesday.
Game's coming out on Wednesday. I think it's out that the review embargo drops on Monday. So people are going to see Monday reviews. So
awesome. Bradley says, I called it. Game Pass subs getting extra cosmetics in Infinite. It isn't a separate pass for them, but it is cosmetic goodies. We have Cristobal says, happy holiday Spawncast and Gene. Game Awards should have a biggest surprise award. I'd give my vote to Guardians of the Galaxy. What says you guys? Oh, like for game. You know what? I actually think Guardians of the Galaxy is a good one because a lot of people kind of wrote it off because of Avengers. Now even Sean is like, that game's actually good. I'm not even into Marvel. It's good.
I mean, that was the big problem. I was like, oh, it's going to be something like that.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a total cringe fest, and it actually wasn't. It was actually like a really good written story. Like if you're into good writing, like play Guardians of the Galaxy. Gameplay was
It's like the facial animations and the way that they actually have that dialogue worked in to kind of show how the character's feeling through those. Like in the game, it's pretty impressive actually for some of those story pieces they have set up. That's the part that impressed me the most about Guardians of the Galaxy was its ability to tell the story.
Yeah, the acting was really good. It was super surprising. They never shut the fuck up, but like other than that, though,
Then we have Aaron says, if you jailbreak a PS3, you can unlock a built-in PSP emulator. So Sony has already had a working PSP emulator to some extent.
Interesting. I didn't know that. I didn't think you could play native PSP games on the PS3, but hey.
Look into that. I guess a game is using a PSP emulator then or has it inside. Interesting. Okay.
There was a way you could remote Play and stuff like that, but I didn't think there was a native PSP emulator in PS3, but maybe one of the later firmwares has it.
This is from Visual saying Spartacus can do weekend-only drops for random new exclusives to keep sustainability in a AAA space. Q says YouTuber's life too? Or don't be trusted again. Oh, are you supposed to be playing that, Sean?
Oh my.
Yes.
Take that as yes.
I'll download it now.
He completely forgot.
I need to
Good
be
job,
reminded
Q.
of things.
What was the bet? You did some sort of like challenge or something?
Yeah, it was a like challenge. Let me. No deals.
Hang on, they're on you.
$40. God damn.
It was on Keymailer. You probably got a key.
Kitsune says, if this is Sony's Game Pass, does that mean that you don't own the game like in Game Pass? PlayStation Plus claiming games is gone. That's what you need to see if you can also purchase them.
Get a discount for them.
You
Yeah.
can, yeah, on Game Pass you can purchase them at a discount. So
Yeah, so maybe for this same deal, we'll see. We'll
Yeah. On Game Pass on Halo Infinite, you get a discount on the microtransactions too. You get 10% off.
Yeah. So we'll see how Sony approaches. I feel like if they're just gonna have the game there, they might even be like, yeah, you can buy it if you want and give us more money. That's fine. Let's go to the Game Awards. We have those that's this Thursday, right?
Thursday, yep.
Thursday, yeah. Okay, cool. So we do have the Game Awards Thursday. A lot of teases and hints and all kinds of random stuff happening, right? For the Game Awards this week. Now, one year we had the Xbox Series X revealed. I don't think we're gonna have that kind of a reveal this time.
No.
Breath of the Wild was revealed in the Game Awards too, right? Wasn't it?
Breath of the Wild, that was one as well.
It was the gameplay reveal.
Gameplay reveal, yeah.
Yeah, reveals at the Game Awards. And then they had like the DLC. I think that Shadow dropped the night of it in 2017.
It did, yeah.
Basically, Jeff has had some pretty big reveals at these things. So a lot of people, of course, go into them expecting at least one really big announcement. And this week coming up, Jeff has done his job. He's supposed to try to hype the thing up. He's been talking about things that have been in the works for years now, apparently. So do we have any prediction as to what could be here? Any one big prediction that you think would blow people away or would get people talking online afterwards?
Sexual harassment.
Is that like a new game, or are you talking about, Sean?
Sorry.
All right, Sean, go ahead.
What? No.
I knew you were gonna bring it up. Good. Good. I was trying to keep this part to the game side, and then we can go into the Jeff Keighley controversy stuff. I have an actual notepad thing typed up here with all this on track.
I'll say Hellblade 2. I
Okay.
think Hellblade 2 is going to be there.
I agree.
Hellblade 2, okay.
There's rumors that Hellblade 2 is going to be there.
Yeah, everyone seems to be talking about Hellblade 2 as being one of the games that's going to be at least shown here, I guess, gameplay wise, because that was revealed alongside the Series X at the Game Awards a couple years ago.
Jeff Grubb's reporting that, so
well, there you go. Okay, that makes
probably
sense.
then,
Yeah, so they would, I guess, show some gameplay for it. I do wonder, Nate, is this where Silent Hill is going to be?
Probably not.
Or abandoned, maybe finally.
Let's hope not.
Yeah.
Let's hope abandoned remains abandoned. And
Yeah, exactly. Jesus Christ.
Abandoned. That could be a good one, huh?
That game is like that's the NFT of games. Just a
What about-
resources.
What about Chrono Cross?
Yes,
Potentially.
I hope so.
We've had Bravely Default 2.
What did Nick
Here
say?
one year?
Potentially. I mean, we just had the another Eden with the Chrono Cross crossover. So I mean, you would imagine that was timed intentionally.
Absolutely. There's no way out of nowhere. Oh, hey, here's crossover with Chrono Cross, this RPG that's been dead for decades.
I mean,
now you get it. Here you go. It seems like something's there.
Doug Bowser did say we're going to be hearing more about Zelda towards the end of the year.
Yep.
So I would like to think we're going to see something.
I think this could be a good spot for it. I mean, yeah, absolutely.
I do think that there's a good chance. I'm not hearing anything, but I think there's a fairly good chance.
I'm gonna put it out there. All right. We get the first look at Metroid Prime remake.
That's another one I would really like.
Throw it in there. Metroid is a North American. It's much more popular in the West. This is obviously gonna be a very Western focused show.
Yep.
Put it in there. Metroid Dread is flying high right now. It's part of the game of the year. Like Metroid is there. Let's follow it up and keep it rolling.
I think we could also be possible if we saw an extension of Zelda Celebration rollover, but
Majora's Mask for the Nintendo Switch Online.
Something of the sort. I could see that happening.
You could actually do that. I mean, sure.
Well, see, I thought that was going to happen until they did this whole fucking Paper Mario thing, and I was like, oh.
Well, they did it with Mario, but Mario was just a random announcement, though.
You still could, right?
Crazy. Yeah,
because it's just a drop on their online service. They could technically, I guess, schedule that out. So it's like, all right, it's showing up on the 20th or something in December.
Just a drop. No respect for all the people who are having to deal with them. And MVG, get him. Just a drop. It's a very entitled gamer thing to say.
Yeah, Veruca. See, I don't think we see Metroid Prime remastered HD, only because this is a title that currently internally is slated for the second half of 2022, likely a holiday release. So I don't see Nintendo revealing it a full year in advance. I think they would hold that for the first direct, if not E3 of 2022.
That's good. I don't think they've ever revealed anything at the Game Awards that came out more than a year later.
Honestly, I think we get Majora's, because I think Majora's is actually a good pick.
That's a joke. You guys are supposed to be laughing.
And honestly, I think we get a release date for Kirby, and that's about it.
Oh, okay. I'd be all right with that. A Kirby release date.
They're actually going to talk about a release date for Kirby at the Game Awards?
I can see Kirby a February direct or something.
Yeah, that seems like hey, here's the pre-orders are live. You know, you can go pre-order it. Like
that's like if I directed the Game Awards. It's like it's just gonna be an all Kirby show.
It was easy before with these things because we'd be like, oh, there's gonna be a Smash character. That's easy. You know, just put a Smash character in there, we'll call it a day.
It's weird. It's weird. Like finally coming to the first event where like we're not thinking about Smash at all. It's bittersweet. It's mainly sweet because I'm tired of people being like, "Who do you think the next character is going to be?" It's like we don't have to deal with that anymore. Done.
Sounds like a perfect venue for a surprise Smash reveal.
No,
God, no.
No one would tear the house down if Sakurai was there though. If Sakurai was there, and said there's one more. Oh my God!
What
dude.
if he was? What if he was there to?
Three.
What if he was there to reveal that he's working on the next Kid Icarus game?
Well, right in the heart there, John.
I'm trying to think of this because we've had some weird, like, out of left field ones. Like, I don't think anyone tuned into the Game Awards one year and was like, "Oh yeah, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 is going to be here."
Yeah.
No one was mentioning that at all because it was weird enough that Spider-Man was going to be on another platform outside of Sony.
Like,
then
there are some weird, like Bravely Default 2. That's weird for the Game Awards. Yeah, like Marvel Ultimate Alliance. That was just.
I mean,
like, it was like a delayed reaction.
Marvel's peak. It's a good crossover between
but
Hollywood genre and gaming.
That franchise, the Ultimate, was like dead for like a long time.
They spearheaded it. It's Marvel. Marvel's one of the most like common things that people used to be made fun of for. It used to be super niche, and now it's like mainstream. Of course, they're going to show it at an award show that tries to be as mainstream as possible.
It was a big deal too because they were like, obviously no one expected it, but then they did the whole impact text where it's like exclusively for Nintendo Switch. Or that was like a whole thing too. And it was like, gosh,
for it to come exclusive, that was even more shock because I played all the Marvel Ultimate Alliance games. That franchise completely skipped. It was at the beginning, or like when did Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2 come out? It came out
PS2.
12 or something.
No, the first one was PS2, but the second one came on 3. Yeah.
Then they had both of them, the first one, second one on 360, because the second one on the PS3 became really expensive for some reason.
That game sucks, but it was like I played it, but I thought it was didn't think it was really good, and then after that, like the game didn't sell, so then it was just dead for a long time. It was dead for a decade, right? It hasn't been around for a whole decade. Marvel Ultimate Alliance. So
what if they showed Kojima's next game there?
No,
which is
a
movie.
What is it? Named to Silent Hill?
That's Stranding 2.
No, it's not Silent. It's Kojima. If Kojima's next game remains what it was, which is a defunct Stadia project that had reportedly been that Microsoft was inquiring about. I don't think we would see it at the Game Awards this year.
Okay. I saw someone in chat say Splinter Cell, but that is way off. So I assume that's not going to be there.
Yeah, like Ubisoft will save that for one of their UB plays or whatever.
I'd say there's a chance, but
they greenlit it recently, so I mean they'd have to put together the entire trailer, just be like, we're doing it.
It was very recent, so I mean. if they could put together a really quick teaser trailer of probably just the green lights coming on a pitch black screen and just saying Silent Hill.
Yeah,
I mean, Splinter
Silent
Cell.
Hill. Whoa, hold on a minute. Wait a minute.
Splinter Cell.
Someone needs to clip that.
Splinter Cell.
Spirit Track.
Then maybe something like that, but I'm not really anticipating Splinter Cell at the Game Awards. But
Beyond Good and Evil 2. That's a good one.
What?
Wasn't
that just announced to be like in the verge of being canceled?
Okay. Could Sony reveal their PlayStation VR headset 2 here?
No. Maybe.
Some hardware. Throw some hardware.
I feel like it could be a weird event for them to drop it. I feel like maybe they want to.
Really.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, it depends. Like if they showed off like Half-Life Alyx, right, running on PS5, and then they're like coming, next year with PSVR 2, and they show off the PSVR system.
Even if they just showed what it looked like, because remember with the Series X, they basically just showed what it looked like, and that was it. Then they moved on. They could show the VR 2 there and then move on.
The Game Awards would be a good platform to show off VR too, because it would be not Sony, and it would be a non Sony only audience, and people it would show, hey, we're the only platform with a VR economy going. So it's like, and dude, if they actually get Half-Life Alyx for PS5 VR, that would be gigantic.
I like that because they could do that in like a 2-minute trailer. They could show you playing Gran Turismo 7 and be like, this has VR support. And then they go Half-Life Alyx, and then they maybe show some other game in there. And maybe they have VR support randomly added for, I don't know, Astro Boy or something, Astrobot, where you walk around like
Astro 3. Yeah,
where you walk around like the little lobby thing you have, or just different ways they could show it off. I think that would be a cool idea, like for some hardware getting thrown into the Game Awards. But yeah, this is going to be, it's so up in the air as to what's going to be there right now, just because of how random it is at times.
And you look at their most anticipated Game Awards list, it's like, it's the same fucking games from last year.
It's the same from last year. I noticed that. I was like, what is this? All right, let's talk about Game of the Year. We talked about this a little before, but I want to see what Gene you thought, and if anyone's thoughts had changed on it, in case anyone had a chance to play Deathloop. They did not. Okay.
I played Deathloop.
Oh, good.
Yeah. None of you have played
someone else who played Deathloop. It's just you and me. It's just you and me.
Okay. I played Deathloop. How dare I be?
How much did you play? Did you beat it?
Yes.
Oh.
I did beat it.
Terrible.
I beat it. That's why I didn't like it. Like, I loved it, and I was like,
it's bad, right?
Yeah, it's terrible. At the beginning. At the beginning of the game, I was like, "Oh yeah, this totally could be a Game of the Year. Totally, this is fucking awesome." And then by the time I get to it, I was like, "This is horrendous. I hate this."
I liked most of the game until the end, and I was like, I felt like I just wasted a lot of time.
It's like reading a fantastic book, and then the final chapter is just like, okay, that sucked.
Okay,
it really shat the bed. I've never seen a game like turn around that quick before. Like it was really shocking.
We have Game of the Year, and then we have Player's Choice.
Halo Infinite, Player's Choice.
We're gonna get to that
game
one.
Not even out yet.
It's not even out yet. We're gonna get to that. Okay.
It's good.
Game of the Year. We have Deathloop, It Takes Two, Metroid Dread. Wait, am I allowed to say It Takes Two, or is that copywritten by Take-Two?
Oh yeah,
Take-Two coming after you. Coming after the Spawncast.
Get a physical copy of that game, by the way.
Yeah, get a physical. That's a good idea. They might change that time.
You'll be. The game will be safe.
Psychonauts 2, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, Resident Evil Village. Okay. So who's winning it?
Forza Horizon 5.
Okay, good.
Forza should win, but yeah.
You don't think it'd be Village?
Ooh,
I
honestly, I have no idea what's going to win. Like,
I'm the same.
I want Metroid to win. Yeah. That is my pick, but I don't think Metroid's going to win. You're probably right. I think Village is going to win, or Psychonauts 2 could easily take it. It Takes Two could take it. I mean, anything.
It's up in the air, isn't it?
It's really up in the air for me.
Yeah.
I feel like it's probably between Deathloop and Village, because so many of the critics love Deathloop. And that's who's voting. And for some reason, Village is like really popular these days again. Like people remembering it. Like,
I think Resident Evil Village was a very good game. It just didn't have any staying power after you finished it. So I was surprised when it won Game of the Year at the Golden Joysticks. I was
surprised at that too. I was shocked. I was like, yeah, it was a game that I loved when I played it, but then I kind of finished it and forgot about it after a while. And then and this is this Village resurgence again, I guess.
D herself.
Huh?
A lost love, yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with Psychonauts 2.
Yep.
They could easily get it. They could easily win.
I hope it does. It deserves it.
I was between that or Deathloop. I think I'm gonna go with Psychonauts. I think Psychonauts 2 is gonna win it.
Psychonauts, I feel like.
I would like to see Dread just because I want there to be a 2D style game that actually does it nowadays, because I think that might get some companies going like, oh, okay, we could make a Castlevania.
What do you guys think the Hollywood Reporter is going to vote for?
Okay, good question.
I need to know what the Hollywood Reporter, Entertainment Weekly, and Gamer Tag Radio are voting for. Those are my 3 big ones.
What would Hollywood? Oh, that's a good question. Maybe Deathloop. No,
probably Ratchet and Clank, and I think Ratchet and Clank. I mean, we're forgetting about Ratchet and Clank. Ratchet and Clank is a good safe pick, I think, for a lot of people. You know.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking on the Ratchet and Clank argument side of things is like, oh, it's groundbreaking. Like, there's no load screens. It pushes the PS5. You know, it's kind of like the next step in technology that people have really seen. So, like, I could see it from that point in the argument, but from how you guys have expressed it is you guys said you kind of just like forgot about Ratchet and Clank and wouldn't have even put it in the nomination.
Yeah, it's Ratchet and Clank. I mean, there's been all the Ratchet games are fantastic, but none of them have ever been nominated for Game of the Year before.
They're quality release. It just, the problem, I would say it was the whole Rift mechanic really wasn't revolutionary. And it's kind of funny because I saw Naughty Dog and even Sony tweeting it out this week. They said 20 years ago, Jack and Daxter came out. Jack and Daxter had no load times either. Apparently, they didn't need an SSD back on the PS2 to do that.
That's true. I think they just kind of. The problem with Ratchet is like that Rift mechanic was insanely overhyped by themselves first.
They showed it a ton.
Yeah, but they also seemed like you could go to these different dimensions, and in the game it was just it's a grapple hook of 25 feet. Like, yeah, that's not what I thought this was going to be.
I thought it was going to be able to pull you into different worlds and you can fight battles. Like, you go to one world, you're fighting the battle, then you finish it. Like in the next world, almost like I thought it was going to be like that.
Yeah, it was almost going to be a puzzle mechanic against the boss.
Yes.
If I rift here, I'm going to have a pillar to protect me from the dinosaur or the boss battle. Instead, it was just a
you literally
mechanic.
You go from here to there, like you just pull yourself from one side to right over there, and like the people still shoot at you. Like, oh, well, now you're over there. You know, I mean, there is some cool stuff, you know, like, but it's not gameplay revolutionary. Like,
there was the puzzle rooms, the puzzle dimensions that you can go into, and there's no loading time. You're just in a new environment. That was cool, but then they really didn't do anything beyond like just that. So, you know,
let's go around here. I got Psychonauts 2. Who you got, Sean?
Fuck, I'm like MVG. I don't really know. It's.
Well, you played through Village. You liked Village. You played Ratchet and Clank. You liked Ratchet and Clank.
I didn't love it though.
You played Psychonauts 2. You liked that.
Yeah, well, I like that.
Yeah, that one you liked. Yeah, right. See, you played Metroid Dread. You liked that.
You like that. My Nintendo didn't like that. I liked it.
Okay. So what do you got?
You know, it could be Psychonauts too. Fuck
all right, I like it.
I would say, because out of those 4 games, I would say it was the most unique.
It was. There were teeth that opened the doors. You had to unzip them. Yeah.
Everything else was kind of just another game in the franchise.
What we got, Gene?
You know, I'm with MVG. I would like to see Metroid Dread win, just to see a classic 2D hardcore game win. I'm kind of rooting for Ratchet because I would like to see a classic action mascot platformer win too. It's a cute game. I need to play Psychonauts 2. And I actually haven't installed them. I haven't installed it on my Xbox. I haven't touched it at all. So
it's really good. You'll like it.
I think you're gonna like it. Yeah. Especially like action platforms. I think you're gonna like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nate, what you got?
I have Cruisin' Blast.
Hey,
that's a real game of the year for sure.
Exactly. See, Gene's on our side.
Yeah, Cruisin' Blast is amazing.
Yes, it is.
I would pick it over Forza.
Whoa.
Well, barely. I mean, it's got unicorns, so come on.
That's true. Right? Unicorns and Triceratops and a shark with a friggin' laser beam on its head.
Yeah.
I mean, out of the list of official nominees, my personal one or the one I think is going to win?
That's my question.
Whatever. Just mix it up. Whatever you want.
Oh, God.
Drop it in there.
I think.
Who do you want to win?
It's going. What I want to win?
Sure. Go ahead. What do you want?
I'll say is Dread. I think the ultimate winner is going to come down to Psychonauts 2 or Deathloop.
Yeah, I think that's about right. Okay. What about OJ? Who we got? Who you picking?
I want Dread to win. I think Dread was amazing. But I think maybe what will win is like Ratchet or like Psychonauts. But maybe Dread wins. Who knows? I don't know. All the games are so close this year. There's not a runaway.
There's no Last of Us. There's no God of War. There's no Zelda.
Yeah, there's no God of War, no Zelda, no
Game of the Year.
We got MG.
Metroid.
All right, I like it. About Click.
Oh, I want it to be Metroid so bad.
You can say it. You're allowed to say Metroid. People think they're not allowed to say Metroid around here. You're allowed to say Metroid.
All winners. Okay. Can I stay with that?
Well, hold on. I finished Deathloop. All right, and
we're all winners.
They're not all winners.
We're not all winners. Don't listen to her.
The fact that it's even in there getting nominated, that's a big boost to the game just in general, because now you can market that.
Yeah, that's true.
So
unless you're Jump Force, they just let that go right by. I don't get it.
And then shut down their servers.
Jump Force.
They actually did tweet it out. Was like, hey, we were nominated. Everybody just killed them for it in the comments.
if I was them, the community manager, I'd be like, were you nominated? Because we were. go Click. Hey, there we go. Keep it sealed.
Yeah, I genuinely don't know.
We're going with Dread for Click.
Did you guys know that Jump Force was nominated for Game of the Year? This is my Switch version of Jump Force. Did you guys know it was nominated for Game of the Year?
Oh yeah, my bank account knows when I bought that collector's edition.
You actually did buy the collector's. Jordan, you know what? You're next. Who you got here?
In my heart, I want Psychonauts. That game hit me on a deeper level than I thought it would. It was a great experience, and I think everyone eventually. I think that'll be a cult classic in time. I think that game is excellent. But I would like to see it like if it's not Psychonauts, I just don't want to see it go to like Deathloop or Res. I would like to see it be like spread out to something that we don't expect to win. You know, I think like It Takes Two would win. Like that would be pretty cool to see something different.
Would anyone be annoyed? Like if It Takes Two wins, I feel like a lot of people would just be like, oh, okay.
It Takes Two is the Celeste of this year.
Yeah, no, I feel like
it's there because they needed it.
When Sekiro won, everybody's like, you know what? I can do it. Like I want Sekiro to win.
That was a fraud win, but not because the game wasn't good enough. Because we all know what happened that year. Those reviewers didn't play. I refuse to believe that Hollywood Entertainment played Sekiro and beat. I refuse to believe that people played that game on that board and beat it. There's no way in hell.
It could be Hollywood one person.
There's no way in hell.
Hollywood Reporter's got some gamers over there, man.
I highly doubt that people actually that voted. I was a sham year. We throw that year out.
Reporter has Entertainment Weekly has some frame counters there. They're counting frames over there, you know.
Picture frames.
Forza 5's nominated. Is that right?
No, it
wasn't nominated at all. No, it's nominated for best racing game or best whatever.
Best racing, yeah.
I wasn't sure if it like randomly snuck in.
I want to make sure that
between FIFA and Forza over there.
I want to make sure that I clarify. Sekiro deserved Game of the Year. I'm talking about the people voting for it, but no, the game was good enough to win Game of the Year. I want to make sure that I clarify that.
Ain't no combat tribes.
You going with Psychonauts, Jordan?
Yeah, my overall choice would be Psychonauts from those.
What you got, Evan?
I personally go with Psychonauts. I imagine it would be Deathloop just because of the Sekiro argument. Maybe they just didn't beat it. So
okay, there we go.
Maybe nobody beat Deathloop yet. That's why I got like perfect scores. You know, I don't know. I tweeted the other day. Like I was like, I wonder if Deathloop is going to be, if it wins, is going to be like the Shakespeare in Love of the Game Awards, where it's like. Okay.
I feel like it'd be our cruel punishment if Deathloop won. Like after all that advertisement, you think you're done with it, but no, you get one more big.
Maybe they saw it so much they thought they beat it.
There's probably a DLC they're gonna drop at the award.
Please no.
I feel like I've seen so many trailers.
Remember this moment. DLC is coming.
There you go. We also had the player's choice. It looks like
the ending, I guess.
What? Oh yeah, it could actually. It could be like what happens after that kind of thing.
Yeah, it could be like the director's cut DLC.
Why are we doing player's choice? Why are we not doing the important category, games for change?
What's in that category?
Those are the cool games.
Is that where Artful Escape is?
We had the player's choice. They already narrowed it down, by the way, to 10 titles. Like they already have like the top titles that are moving on to the next round. Deathloop, Fortnite,
yes.
Why is Fortnite in there? Hold on a minute.
Player's voice, right?
I thought these were new games.
Nope.
No, it's
They're not.
I mean,
no.
Fortnite should have won in 2017, 2018. That's
Every game on here is new though, except for Fortnite.
No, Apex is in there, Valorant's in there, League of Legends is in there. Like it's players' voice, right?
What's wrong with these people?
Well, in that case, I'm gonna go ahead and vote for Ocarina of Time. I'm voting for Link to the Past. Is there a write-in? Can I write it in somewhere? Hold on. We have Deathloop,
randomizer,
Fortnite.
Link to the Past randomizer. Is that in there or something?
I mean, it might be. Psychonauts 2, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, Metroid Dread, It Takes Two, Forza Horizon 5, Resident Evil Village, and Halo Infinite. Resident Evil Village and Halo Infinite so far have the most votes. Halo Infinite's not out, by the way. That's out this week.
It's coming out Wednesday. Yes.
I heard from somewhere that it was Unreal Tournament on horse tranquilizers as well.
It is really slow.
That's
So slow.
Unreal Tournament on ketamine.
Basically.
Pretty much.
So Halo Infinite's out this week. Everyone's just voting on the multiplayer, obviously.
How the hell's Cruis'n Blast not a player's choice?
Because people are idiots.
We had to make room for Fortnite, Apex Select. There just wasn't enough room. All right, Nate. All right, maybe next year. Because apparently you can just do it next year.
Cruis'n Blast continues to be omitted from the categories it so richly deserves recognition.
I kind of think Cruis'n Blast just knows its place. All right.
Yeah, so, the greatest game of all time. It is the pinnacle of video games, and it knows that. And games aspire to reach its greatness.
The players. It looks very similar to the Game of the Year, except it also has Guardians. You know what? Guardians of the Galaxy. It's actually kind of cool that it's up there. Because otherwise,
I'm a little surprised at that. I wonder if it's selling well as a result of that. I don't know.
It really surprised a lot of people. Otherwise, Fortnite and Forza Horizon 5 and Halo are the only ones in there with Marvel's, as opposed to the Game of the Year. So let's see. I mean, obviously they have this category just because stuff's going to get missed out on. Last time, I think Fire Emblem won it, right?
Yes.
2019?
Yes.
That was 2019.
Oh no, what was last? What was last time?
I think that's Stranding. Oh no, that's 2019. No, that didn't win. 2020 was Last of Us. I think Last of Us won as well. Yeah.
Got it.
Oh yeah, I did.
Got it. All right, so we have. I can't really vote for Halo Infinite yet. Like, I kind of have to wait for the game to come out to play it.
No, you can. That's fine. I mean, what are you playing the most lately? What's been taking up all your time?
Yeah,
how much time have you played Halo Infinite? Exactly.
I mean, it's been Halo Infinite anyways. Even I played the campaign, but even without the campaign, I've already put 45 hours into the multiplayer. So
yeah,
you know.
Yeah, I think John's put in like 5 days.
I did play it a lot. So Rodonix, getting there. I only need 2 more levels of diamond, and I'm there.
Yeah, every time I turn my Xbox on, you saw him.
Yeah. You see me. I get the challenges done to get the weekly thing.
True. 2 days out. It's Wednesday. I have no more weekly challenges left. What the hell's wrong with you? You just launched 12 hours ago.
It's not wrong.
I don't know. They make a compelling case for Fortnite, but I think I'm going to go with Metroid Dread. That's what I would vote for the player's choice.
I actually voted for the player's choice, but I voted for Halo Infinite anyway. So, and Dread, just because.
To be fair, you've also played Halo, so there you go.
Oh, I also played the whole game too. So,
that helps a little bit. Helps a little bit. What do you got?
It was the only honest vote in the Halo Infinite Players' Choice Awards, basically.
Yep. Oh, well. What do you guys got? Everyone just going Dread? We just pushing that up the chart here.
Dread.
Fortnite.
Dread.
I'll go to Dread.
All right. You going Psychonauts 2, Jordan?
Yeah.
All right. I like it.
What's the horizon on that one?
Yeah, it is actually.
It is actually on this one.
I'll get into FH5.
Forza Horizon's really surprised. I didn't think I'd put this much time into a car racing game like this. I've put a lot of time into it.
Also, here's the weird thing about Halo Infinite. That's going to be part of next year's Game Awards, right?
Yeah, because Starfield's not going to make it, apparently.
But it's part of this player's. You know what? Fortnite's here too. Why not? We're just making up the rules. Let's. I think that's everything for the Game Awards there. Sean, you want to bring up the controversy with your buddy Jeff? You guys do follow each other on Twitter.
Well, yeah, that's my homie. Well, first off, we got to talk about the real controversy. That Sting is performing at the Game Awards because nobody cares about Sting in 2021.
Oh,
Wait, I didn't know Sting was performing. What the hell?
He did a song for Arcane, so they're putting him on there.
He did a song for Arcane, which I believe was a Riot Games influence thing, but I thought we didn't like Riot Games. But it's okay that Riot Games is there. It's okay that Sony is there. It's okay that Nintendo is there. It's okay that Microsoft is there. It's okay that all these companies are there, except for one. Activision. The big, mean devil Activision. Floor's open. Take it as you will. I have counter arguments for everything anyone will say. I wish it was Sting the wrestler. Fuck's sake. Started on a brand new day. Like, Sting was good in The Police. Like, I'm a fan of The Police. But like I told this story, we were playing Halo the other night. When I was a little kid, I heard Walking on the Moon for the first time. And I thought, like, the singer was like this cool Rastafarian black dude, and I was like, yeah, this is a cool song. He's got a cool vibe to it. And then I saw a picture of The Police, and I was like, who is this old white dork? Because Sting has always looked old, in my opinion. And it really, I feel like that was one of the reasons why I have so many problems as an adult, finding out that Sting was
so there was an announcement that Activision won't be at the Game Awards, other than anything they were nominated for, obviously, because like if Jeff went in and like said, okay, these nominations aren't allowed to be there, that opens the door for all kinds of stuff then when it comes to the nominations and all of that. So they're just gonna leave that fine, but Activision won't be taking part, I guess, even though I believe people are pointing out that I think the president is part of like their advisory board.
Yeah, a lot of people are confusing him with Bobby Kotick, but his name is Robert Kotick, not Bobby Kotick. So yeah,
got it. Okay,
he's the president. He's not the CEO and co-founder. So yeah, but
I mean, that was on there the whole time too.
It was on there the whole time.
It's not like that just popped up out of nowhere. It's almost like everyone got mad because somebody told them to get mad.
Exactly. And to Sean's point, there are directors and executives of Ubisoft and EA and all these other companies on that board too.
He's on the board, right? He's
and all these, and then numerous of those companies have had allegations stem from within, but one of the bigger issues was how Keighley failed to address anything.
I think that was the biggest thing.
5 years ago, Keighley had no problem going on stage and giving a sob story because his best friend, Hideo Kojima, couldn't attend because Konami blocked him, and then serenaded him with a song from Metal Gear Solid 5.
With a song. We have a special performance for you.
Exactly. And he doesn't have the balls this year to go on stage and give the statement that he put out last night on Twitter, where he actually said, hey, we stand with the employees. Why couldn't that have been his initial statement? Why could he not walk out on Thursday and give that statement on the microphone? Because it looks as though he's siding with money. He's siding with the people who are lining his pockets to put on the game advertisement show. And that's the problem. Had he come out and put out a statement before giving the interview and didn't say, oh, we're not sure how we're going to approach this, come out and show that you're going to stand in solidarity with the workers, that you're going to condemn the CEOs and these toxic work environments. You have to do a statement like that, because when you look back and see that Kojima thing, you're going to serenade your best friend, but you don't have the courage to stand with the industry in light of these allegations. It looks horrendous, especially when you're a big voice in the industry like Jeff Keighley is.
I tweeted last night, when I tweeted at him, it's not too late to say something. I didn't mean it's not too late to say something tonight. I meant on Thursday, because Thursday hasn't even happened yet. So we can't speak as if he hasn't already said something, right? I would like to think that in a decent world where money doesn't matter to people, or status, or relationships with people who are kind of on the board and kind of influential on your own program are going to have any say on what you decide to take a stand for, which I would like to think would be for the right cause. It hasn't happened yet, so we don't know. But for us to automatically assume that he's not going to, I'm not going to say it's unreasonable. However, we can't speak as if it hasn't happened yet. I know for a fact when next Saturday comes around, we can grill into it as much as we want if nothing is said or done or even mentioned, if it's just swept under the rug. Because that's going to be the biggest thing, is sweeping this under the rug. Is like I'll let you talk, Sean. Hold on. I wait for you literally all the time because we know you love to talk. But God, bro, like the more we sweep it under the rug, the bigger issue it becomes, because we see it in other places like Hollywood. And you know what? Especially with all the play, we didn't even talk about the PlayStation stuff that just surfaced up a couple hours ago. Like, it can't get swept under the rug. It's got to be addressed. And I would like to think that we could grow the cojones and say it live on air. But, again, it hasn't happened yet. So we can't already try to crucify this man for something that hasn't happened, even though we have good inclination to assume that he's not going to say anything. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, the initial interview came from my colleague Shannon Liao at the Washington Post, and then it was rewritten by Kotaku, in a much more like damning headline, which basically said like pointed to Keelan and says he said he's not taking a stance and he's going to focus on reveals. He basically didn't take a stance, so that part is accurate. But he didn't say I'm not going to. I'm going to brush it on the rug and focus on the advertisements part. Like that was not like part of like our interview. And then Kotaku kind of like pushed that forward, and it basically
gave him.
I think if he would have given that statement to the Washington Post that he put out last night, that would have been a powerful statement. The fact that it didn't come out until there was pressure and what we saw on social media come out, it feels as though it is just a public posturing statement where he caved to the community pressure instead of actually taking charge and leading with that originally.
But how do we know? But how do we know he's not? He would be, like as Click saying, would be planning some sort of monologue or statement.
Well, we wouldn't know because he hasn't talked about it. He hasn't mentioned anything on his Twitter at all.
Maybe it's something he doesn't want to lean on too much to for something that's on the live event. I mean, it could be very well that if this is talked about too much, someone comes at him and says, you can't. Maybe this is something that he's trying to keep under wraps. I would like to think that's assuming a lot of Jeff, but that's a possibility.
He should have probably, if he would have said something originally when the reports came out, and if he would have said something and just said, hey man, like it doesn't even have to be like you're taking sides. This is just decent human being. Like, hey, I don't want sexual assault. I know you agree with that, Click, right?
I know, absolutely.
I don't think it's controversial to say that, hey, there shouldn't be sexual assault. And that's all you have to do.
In the initial interview. Yeah, in the initial interview, he could have just come out and stronger, but what we had was really that he would just like sitting on his head and being kind of.
He said nothing on it.
It was just kind of like both sides,
He played classic politics. He danced around the topic, and people aren't having it. I mean, that's what I'm very glad about the gaming community for, is that we'll actually call stuff out. Sometimes it's to a very high degree, but I'm glad that people are calling him out on it. And the fact that after all that backlash, after the article came out and made him probably look in a little bit different light than how it originally was, people were calling him out for it. But again, like, Thursday can still happen. I would like to think that maybe he's feeling the fire now and actually will set an example, but who's to say?
Yeah, because again, to Nate's point, if you compare and contrast his response to the overwhelming response he did for Kojima to literally have a
Konami side. He didn't get Konami side. He just blasted them. This dude Kojima is spending money faster than seriously. Who does that? If you have a boss, right? Can you just spend all their money and do whatever you want? You can't. And that's what Kojima was doing. He was spending money like absolute crazy and not even consulting, why else would they be upset? There's no other reason why. He was just spending money, and he blasted Konami and made it seem as if it was just this evil corporate. I don't like Konami. Let me just make sure I make that clear. Like, I don't like them or anything, but like, he made it seem as if it was all them, and and the fact that he's not going to do, at least he can't even go just like a little bit on this when he just destroyed Konami that year. I mean, come on, man. Like, that definitely seems like, it seems a bit hypocritical, maybe. And this is a lot worse than anything Konami, by the way. This is like 10 times worse than...
Yeah, because he threw the fuck Konami meme into the stratosphere, Like, he normalized fuck Konami,
Yeah, he blasted them with everything that he said that night, man.
It's like in the Konami situation, he knew he had nothing to lose and he had everything to gain. He went with what the public wanted, and that was to say, fuck you, Konami, because of what was going on with Kojima. This is a situation where an individual was driven to suicide due to the toxic culture that we saw at Activision. That's where you, as an industry leader, have to make a statement.
I was watching videos of the Kojima thing last night, just to kind of like relive it and kind of remember that, Nate, also. And it was kind of cringy to read the comments below and be like, yes, thank you, Jeff, for always standing up for the industry. Thank you for shining a light on the real problems of this industry. And I'm just like, oh God, you guys, please. Like granted, this is 5 years ago, but still.
Exactly.
So are you guys saying we're not getting Silent Hill on Thursday then?
No, prepare for disappointment.
I love Kojima too. I'm a huge fan of him, but you know,
I like Kojima as well. You know?
Are you at an understanding, Sean?
First
Sean
off,
oh god.
First off, the biggest travesty is I just realized that Sting also sang that Dream of Red. Remember that fucking song?
Is it
What?
Sting is a cultural.
What is the disrespect with Sting? Sting is awesome.
He also sang Roxanne.
I like the Police. No, I would be fine with Sting at like a music show.
Wait,
I don't need I don't need Sting. Well, you said we're talking about the big issue right now, and this is
okay.
big. Here's my
I'm surprised it's Imagine Dragons. I'm surprised that there's no backlash against Imagine Dragons, who I like actually personally.
I mean, after Sting, you know, it's
Imagine Dragons
here's my
Arcane, so
well, that's Riot Games are bad. Here's my thing. I think it's silly that everyone was bitching at Jeff to remove Activision or have nothing from Activision to do it, when realistically all of these companies are guilty of those same things. And that's not me speculating. That's go into Google, type in your favorite video game company, a big one, not Night Dive Studios, but you know. No
Wait,
problem.
hold on, you just called us. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying not Night Dive. But go type in Nintendo sexual harassment. Type in Xbox sexual harassment. Type in PlayStation sexual harassment. Look at that motherfucker who was meeting up with a 15-year-old boy and like showing him dick pics and stuff like that.
Oh, whoa.
This kind of, I mean, that allegedly. Sorry,
Okay,
allegedly.
got it. Yeah, gotcha.
You know, this is a problem all over the place, and I get it that, you know, Activision is the big baddie in this situation, and you know there should be no Activision support, but by that logic then there should be no Nintendo support, there should be no Microsoft support, there should be no Sony support, there shouldn't be a Game Awards at all, which would make me very happy because I think the Game Awards is pointless. But like that's
you
the
would
thing.
go if he invited you. You'd go.
No, I wouldn't. He'd have to give
You'd
me
have to
some money.
go. No, you'd have
Why?
to go.
What do you mean have to? What am I, a slave? He's gonna
No, you have to go and represent RGT 85 at the Game Awards.
get up there and get really drunk.
Honestly, I don't think people are calling for a boycott of everything Activision games there, like, because there's still developers. I have friends that work there, and like they deserve, if they get nominated, they can. I don't think people are necessarily they're just saying they just wanted him to say something on it so it can foster a better community going forward. Like he has a big, you know, big voice in here. And I get it. Like Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony, they all have their own things. I get that. But playing whataboutisms to say, well, look at this and look at this does not mean that you can just outright dismiss lawsuits, death. This, like, it's egregious. This is egregious, Sean.
I think Sean's point is more to the extent of, let us not solely focus on Activision in this case. Let us punish and hold all accountable.
And
so if you
that's
people
fine.
saying you can't have Activision in here, then it should be, then let's have all of them out of there because they're guilty for all of this stuff. We can't say, you can't just choose the companies that you love to hate to punish. You should be punishing all who are doing these wrongdoings.
Listen. Nobody's perfect. We all know this, right? I'm not expecting every company to be perfect. I'm not expecting every company to have everything, but there are levels of like there is lawsuits, there is death, there is stuff all the way up to the CEO of the company. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is pretty bad with this. I'm not saying that I'm not saying their game should be removed. All I'm saying is that if there is bad stuff that happens on this level, they should maybe say something. You know, and if there's bad stuff that happens with any other company, then they should say, people should call it out. People should say something. But to this level, to the point to where you have class action lawsuits in California, by the way, these cheap bums, they don't spend their money on anything when it comes to this, and they're spending millions of dollars to prosecute this case, then there's obviously more than enough evidence, not just one thing here or there, but a lot of evidence. Otherwise, I live in California. I know they would not spend the money that they're spending if this wasn't egregious on a very large scale. They just wouldn't.
I'm trying to understand like what you mean exactly, Sean. Like, are you saying we shouldn't say anything about it because it happens all over the place? Like, do you think that there would be a time?
That's not what I'm saying at all. Please don't insinuate that, because that's not a good look.
There was a question mark after that. If you would let me finish, you'd hear it.
Yeah,
you usually don't. Sean, please let me finish. I really don't want to slander you. I know you're a good guy. All I'm saying is, what is the best way to approach it more than on a night where some of the most eyes are on the industry, right? What do we tell young kids who are sitting watching the show, maybe who have gaming parents, or maybe they don't, maybe they're sitting by themselves and they're in a household whose parents aren't very involved in them? Like, how do we help? There are a lot of survivors in the gaming, like speaking up and saying this is not okay and we have each other's backs. Like, there are a lot of survivors who are going to hear people talking about this discussion and who like negate it and downplay it. Like, they're listening to that. They're going to hear people's reactions and how important that is, right? So like, how do we approach the situation, right? I'm not saying some people are calling for boycotts. There are a lot of people online that say take everything Activision off, and I'm with OJ. Like, it's a really messy situation. We have people we love and we support who work there, who are like, then they've been honest, like they're coming home in tears because they're so torn apart by this situation. So it's more like, yes, it's gaming, and yeah, to some people it's a trash show. To some people, they still find it as like a celebration of games. However people want to view it, but it's like, this is a really unfortunate situation because humans are very flawed, and we have to like still tell people like, yes, games are good, games can be celebrated, games can be supported, but humans are trash, humans are broken, humans are messed up. Like, how do we marry those two together and still like find a way to have justice for the night? Like, what's the best way to approach it? We can't just not talk about it, you know?
But you're assuming that Jeff is going to talk about it, and I don't think any of us should assume that, because there's been no insinuation.
I think most people are assuming he's not going to, which again, like I said, you wouldn't be crazy to assume that.
So then we wouldn't be talking about it at the Game Awards, which like I'm kind of, because you said that should be the stage to talk about it, right? But if we don't expect them to talk about it, then what's really going to happen?
I genuinely think it's a misunderstanding though, because from the way it seems like
my whole thing is that if you're a fucking idiot who needs to know that, hey, you shouldn't fuck a 15-year-old, hey, you shouldn't, harass people beyond to the point of where they, like, the whole thing of it is that I don't like that everyone is just singling out Activision, and OJ says that's because of the court case, but that's only because of the fact that we have a court case to look at. That doesn't mean that there aren't hundreds, if not thousands of cases at other employers that are happening that just haven't been brought to the limelight. So to shun one company while acting like everything is always hunky-dory at these other companies, just to me is stupid, and it's a double standard of bullshit. Humanity as a whole thing is fucked in the head, and to act like and put these people on pedestals, it's just like how I look. It's just my personal opinion. If people disagree with me on that, fine. You are allowed to have your own opinion. That's the beauty of being a human. But you look at someone like R. Kelly. There are people who I will never listen to an R. Kelly song again. I'll listen to an R. Kelly song because I'm not listening to Robert Kelly, the musician. I'm listening to R. Kelly, the musician. I'm not the human.
Terrible comparison, but beyond that, I'm not saying.
Thanks for letting me finish, guys. It's
a terrible comparison. I'm not even going to touch that. But I'm not saying that they shun Activision. I have friends that work there. We should. What I'm saying is that you support the people there, not shun the whole company. You support give some support to the people there. I'm not saying burn Bobby Kotick on the Game Awards. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is like, yo, social support for the people there. That's it. It's not as big of a deal.
How is saying fuck Activision and don't have Activision part of the Game Awards?
Showing
support. I'm not saying you said that. Nobody said.
You just said that I shunned it. You just said that OJ said I shunned Activision. No, I'm not saying shun Activision overall. All I'm saying is that just support what had happened, like to the victims that are still there, that are people that are still there. Just give them a little bit of support that can't happen in the future, and that's that. Well, the dude that's on the board, he can still be there. They can still have Activision games there. I'm not, because there's still a lot of people that are working that need a paycheck, Sean. I'm not saying that, bro.
It's possible to make a giant statement. You don't even have to single out Activision specifically. Like, it's possible.
I'm not talking about you two individuals. I'm talking about the internet hive mind mentality. Okay. I don't understand why we're taking this so personal. I'm not saying
I'm not taking it personal, bro. I'm not taking it personal. I'm not mad at you.
I will trust you. I will trust you because
if I was mad at you, I'd say, "Yo, Sean, you suck."
I think the idea here is that
Crusty. Did you get mad at me calling saying I said Crusty in 64 games?
I think the idea here is there's a large platform and there's an obvious issue in gaming, and it would be a good thing for Jeff Keighley to take 5 minutes, which would be probably about a quarter of the time they spent on Kojima, and just addressed it overall rather than just say one company, just the overall
Yes.
state of the industry.
Yes.
And the direction we should be going in.
Yes.
I do 100%. Feel like I can kind of empathize with Sean's frustration on this, because what it sounds to me, when I'm hearing him speak, it sounds to me like he's just extremely frustrated with the systemic issues that are just really in the industry. And like when we talk about what are we going to do, what is Hollywood going to do? Like Hollywood hasn't done shit,
Nope.
Like nobody, nobody for decades, nobody's done anything,
We moved on from Ubisoft, we moved on from Riot Games. You know what I'm saying? That's my whole thing. But Gene keeps
it's really easy
to the new company in the limelight with nothing ever happening or holding these companies responsible. It's just in 6 months it's going to be another company. And it's like I mentioned last week, Sean's mentioned on Twitter this week. Where were people 6 months ago when Katie Casper from Nintendo of America went to Twitter and told her story about the bullying and sexism that went on at Nintendo of America? There was silence. There was no one saying Nintendo shouldn't be at E3 this year. It was silence because
Nate, this is exactly the reason why we should talk about it more, right?
They hate companies and they love to hate the companies, and Activision is one of them. Activision is a terrible company. We have seen it from the head down, and we know Bobby Kotick is not the only problem. But this idea when Doug Bowser comes out with a nothing statement from an internal memo, and we ignore actual reports and allegations that have happened at the company, and nobody reported it. Nobody held Nintendo responsible, and that's a crime. That is a damn shame, and it reflects on the gaming community that they fell silent to it because it's Nintendo, and certain people don't want to critique Nintendo. They don't want to show that Nintendo is also bad inside. It hurts them to admit that. But all of these companies, Microsoft, Nintendo, Sony, Activision, Riot, they're all bad. They have bad people, and it needs to change from the inside in the industry. Like Jeff Keighley has to walk out on stage and say, fuck all of you, change, make things better. This is a systemic problem. It is a societal problem, and we as individuals in it have to change it and not accept this type of behavior from anybody.
Yeah.
The problem is that Jeff Keighley is not an activist. He doesn't have an activist mind.
He has a money mind. He has a money, capitalist mind. Making off the gamers. He's a gaming culture vulture.
Yo, to Nate's point, and RGT put that on there. That's the reason why not enough people talked about it when it comes to these certain things. So we got to talk about it, right?
If they're not going to talk about it, let us.
that passion and ranked match there, Nate.
Right? He's a great speaker. But let us talk about it. I don't think any of us here have any animosity towards each other. We might get heated, we might argue and bicker like a dysfunctional family, but someone has to talk about it. Maybe that's probably why we're not even nominated to be voting for games on the board for the Game Awards, because we talk about real shit and some other things.
Certainly.
But that's the thing. If it doesn't start with us, then who does it start with? That's my opinion. And I know some people in chat are getting uncomfortable and some people are probably going to leave, but you have to realize this is stuff that it needs to be discussed and needs to be brought up. And I don't think any of us disagree. I think we all agree that this is effed up, and maybe we have different ways on how it should be expressed or how it should be enunciated. But I think the majority, at its core, we want the change. We know the change needs to happen. And I just don't want to see people torn apart about this, because at the end of the day, we're all on the same side on this topic for the most part. And if you're not, obviously, why would you publicly out that? Because that's disgusting.
All right.
I feel bad for people in chat where they're like, this is too much, I can't handle it. And I understand that, but you have to realize this is a reality for a lot of people. And again, there are people watching who have been through stuff, and they're seeing how you react. They're seeing your attitude. It could be people that you've known in your personal life. You never know what's going on. I know people are gonna be like, shut up, woman. Of course you're gonna be emotional on it. It's a very real thing. And I'm glad that we have this platform to talk about it. And we respect you just as much as we hope you respect us. But seriously, it is a topic that hopefully as the years go on, we can say we've made an improvement on, we've made a change for. And I know for a fact that just even me personally, if I've helped one person feel acknowledged or validated in their struggle, that's a win. And as creators, it's not our responsibility or our weight to carry, but it's something that as a platform, we should kind of take up the mantle to speak on once in a while. That's just the least we can do.
Yep.
Okay.
Agree.
Well said. We want to go to some Discord questions, Evan, and then we'll finish out with the super chats here.
Yeah, we can try to tear through these.
Oh, let me give the Streamlabs too. Go ahead.
Fuck, it's 11:16. All right, we got to go through these fast. I need to get on some Halo.
What's a game franchise you'd want to see ported backwards, like a downgrade, kind of like what they did with the Bloodborne game, the demake?
Super Mario Odyssey on the N64. Next.
All right. Even though Microsoft is acquiring studios and has a few strong IPs of its own, what do you think they will need to start commanding the same respect clout Sony has for their exclusives?
I feel like they would have to put out like a big critically acclaimed game, like something like that Fable ends up being really good, or Perfect Dark.
I was going to say the same thing. Fable and Perfect Dark need to be good.
I think Perfect Dark in particular, because that's a studio, the initiative that they formed. And that's the biggest thing there is Sony has done a good job cultivating and forming their studios and then creating really good original games. So I feel like if Microsoft could do that with the initiative and Perfect Dark, that'd be a good first step to having that kind of, I guess people look at Sony as having, you know, the studios they put up on the pedestals, and you could put the initiative up there if they're able to pull it off. Because most likely if they can, let's be real, Crystal Dynamics is probably getting merged with the initiative.
Considering how well all right, Nate. Considering how well the PS5 disc system has sold in comparison to the digital, do you think it'll be, I guess, a big risk for the next generation to go all digital?
No, I don't. What is that referencing? Because both models have been sold out.
I think Sony's making more disc-based ones.
Yeah.
I don't think they're making as many digital ones.
But they're both still selling out. I mean, ultimately,
yeah.
But we're still seeing games on PlayStation 5 sell in the area of 70% digital. So regardless of having a digital only or a disc-based PS5, people are still siding with digital in select cases. So,
yep, yeah, I think this generation will be the last one for Sony where they have a disc-based unit.
That doesn't sound like a good idea. That doesn't sound like a good idea to me. I
think John's right.
I still don't think it sounds like a good idea.
Well, I don't like it, but I think that's probably right too. You know, like I don't have to like it. I'm an old school guy. I like having my games, but you know, as much as I'm gonna bitch about microtransactions, that's just how the world is right now. You know.
No, let's be real. The fact that the PS5 apparently doesn't read a CD, so we can't even play a PS1 game.
Exactly. We can't even play CD music, CD-ROMs.
There you go. They're already laying the groundwork.
More custom soundtracks from a CD.
We got a guy that bought into Game Pass Ultimate recently. He's wondering about any hidden gems, specifically, not like the major titles, but anything hidden.
Octopath Traveler.
Quake. I look like Metal Jesus.
Yeah. Quake. Ha! Horde mode went in, right?
Yeah, Horde mode's in. 120 FPS. Get on that Quake.
Yeah. Pass. Grab Quake, especially if you didn't play it way back when it came out. Great time to get into it. Absolutely.
And I had a Jack.
Yeah, Dragon Quest 11S.
Yeah, Dragon Quest, Octopath Traveler.
Oh yeah.
Not really a hidden gem though. Dragon Quest sold like almost like 9 million or something like that.
Yeah. If you like more artistic experience type games, give Artful Escape a check. It's actually very well reviewed for the impact that it's had on some players. So give it a look.
What's that one game where you got to take all your items out of your suitcase and put them in your room?
Unpacking.
Yeah, that one. Dude, have you played it?
It's apparently really good.
Dude, check it. It's really good.
Really?
Check it out.
Yeah.
Is it Team 17?
Maybe.
What do you do?
It's a lot of it's a story driven type thing.
It's a story driven game where basically you start off as a kid and you basically unpack a box of all the toys and stuff. You place them in your room, and it just kind of goes through different stages in life of unpacking boxes in certain vicinities and locations. It's a really fun game. You should check it out.
I've been meaning to play that because my favorite part of Resident Evil 4 is packing and unpacking a suitcase. So
hey, a cat.
It's why I love Death Stranding so much, because it's an entire game about just packing and unpacking shit.
Inventory management.
Death Stranding and Resident Evil 4 in the same stratosphere. Please, can we not do that? Please. That sounds just off to me to do that.
Back on the digital only future, do you think there will be an option for external optical drives for possible backwards compatibility? I'm guessing no, because the pay for services that they're going to want you to get on.
Yeah.
Unless they plan on bringing back the Xbox 360 external HD DVD drive thing.
I had one of those.
That's never gonna happen.
I think the next gen systems, like way down the line when they do just digital, I think the pricing of the system is going to be thought about a bit more, because they will have you locked in that digital store. So they might be able to make them cheaper, thinking in the long run they'll be able to make up a lot of money for it. because there won't be any other option. You can't actually buy a Sony card for a game in a Walmart. You can only buy the currency cards to then take to the store. So I actually think that'll play in quite a bit to their pricing structure on their systems.
Some simple ones. Do you think Sega will release a Mario and Sonic at the Olympics Winter Games for 2022?
Sure, why not?
Yeah. Has anyone played either Dying Light on Switch or Solar Ash?
I played Dying Light. Yeah, it's good.
I heard Solar Ash is so good. I need to play that apparently.
Dying Light's actually pretty decent. I was playing multiplayer with Wood earlier
They
today.
just did like a patch.
Yeah, pretty decent.
And then for Nate, have you ever played Nikki the Home Alone Golf Ball on the Switch eShop? I don't know what that is.
What?
Sounds like a video,
Nikki,
Nate.
the Home Alone golf ball?
Yeah.
Sounds like a direct feed.
No, I have not played that. I'm actually playing some weird, what the hell's the name of the game? It's some bowling date simulator that I think Devolver Digital just put out.
I could see that if it's Devolver, yeah.
Jordan, you want to let everyone know where they can find you?
Yeah, sorry guys. I had to keep going to deal with stuff, and I have to dip out early. But Gene, it was nice meeting you. And
Yeah, Jordan. Likewise.
And yeah, you can find me on my YouTube channel, Jordan Fringe. Have a good night, everyone. And yeah, thanks for having me.
Bye,
Jordan.
Jordan.
Yeah,
Love
Jordan.
you.
Bye.
Is that all the Discord questions, Evan?
Yeah, it's everything. We're good.
Let me go over to Streamlabs real quick. Liam says to John and Nate, with Spotify Wrapped recently happening, is there a way that you, as the owners of your Spotify channels, can see how many times your podcast appeared in people's Wrapped? If yes, what was the number? I don't know.
Ooh, that'd be
I don't
cool.
know. I was alerted that there was some kind of Wrapped thing, and I have not looked at it.
No, I don't know. I've just seen the people who happened to tweet at me saying that Nate the Hate
Yes,
was the
that was
number
cool.
one podcast for them in the year of 2021. And if it was, thank you.
I'll look into it for the stats just
That's
to see, because
cool.
that is
Yeah,
interesting.
same.
I'll look into it. Big shout out to Shamsa. Donated $100. Big shout out,
Hey,
Shamsa.
Shamsa.
And I think you guys are everyone there. Yes. Oh wait, this is from Juan saying, I see lots of people frustrated with the Game Awards and their stance on Activision. It'd be nice if industry-wide content creators decided to stream something else during the Game Awards, shift focus from the Game Awards something else. Well, if Jeff decides to do a statement on all of this, it's probably where everyone should probably be watching that. So
That's like scorched earth statement. You know,
Yeah,
I don't want to do all that. You know, like that's not fair to everybody else.
Oh, so
know,
what does it accomplish too? You know, it's a kind of like a
Yeah.
boycott. Like I don't know. So,
Yeah, I'm not boycotting Activision games or anything. I just don't like Activision games.
Yeah,
that
don't buy them anyway. You know, like I just. But I told people, hey, I'm not boycotting any of their stuff. I just don't like them. I just don't like playing them. You know.
Yeah, it's kind of like having a black square on your Instagram. Like that doesn't really do much, you know. So you know, stuff like that. Like I remember when the Stop Asian Hate stuff happening, and then like one of the Asian media groups were like, put a yellow square on your Instagram, and we were like,
I remember that.
Oh no,
like shut the
please.
fuck up, dude. Fuck, none of us called each other yellow. First of all, like what the fuck?
Well, the initial issue with the black square thing was that it was just supposed to be that no one was going to talk that day, but then everyone decided to post a black square, which then just filled everyone's feeds with black squares, and it fucked everything
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
So it was just everyone being stupid. So it's good.
This one's from Pyro, who became a member. Thank you, Pyro. Gave Deathloop another go, and I'm beginning to really appreciate just how dense the game truly is. Also, please bring the hammer back, John. Maybe I'll do something fun with that at some point. I'll look into that.
We gotta build a custom hammer or something. Be good.
Yeah, right.
I would say about Deathloop. Deathloop had the coolest shotgun in the game in a long time. The shotgun that you win, the little secret shotgun that you find at towards the end.
I like the
fucking love
pistols that
shotgun.
exploded into two other pistols, and you throw them back together, and then you use that. I like that.
That's when I loved Deathloop. I was like, man, the guns are really fucking cool. So like, I don't hate Deathloop. It just really sucked at the end.
Let's see. Let's go around here as I finish up with these super chats. Gene, thank you for joining us tonight. Where can everyone find you?
I'm at twitter.com/GenePark @GenePark. That's my main. I don't like doing anything else. So you can find me there or my work at the Washington Post. I've been a games reporter for about 2 years now.
You're
I'm still pretty new at this.
Down below too. Oh, okay. Your stuff linked down below too, the author page. So everyone make sure you check
I've
out
only
Gene there.
playing video games for about 2 years now, so you know,
Oh my
getting a feel for it. You know.
Let me see the super chat here to make sure I'm in the right spot. Here's going. Chris Green says N64 was hot garbage.
Stop it.
Oh, that's
I wouldn't go that far, but
Luigi follows up.
It was crusty. I do agree it was crusty.
Luigi follows up though and says, "Thank you, RGT85. Mario Kart 64 all day."
Thank you.
There you go. Symphonic Balance says the most obscure game you've played that no one else has played. Piano 3 for the GameCube, made by Capcom, is my choice. Wow.
Piano 3. I was gonna mention Piano 3 for my argument for the GameCube. Like it had Beautiful Joe 2, Piano 3, all that stuff. You know.
That's some GameCube goodness, right? Well, not Piano 3.
Yeah,
but
Piano 3.
Beautiful Joe might be better than almost any I think it might be better than any third-party game on the N64.
Beautiful Joe is one of those out of that Capcom 5. It really needs an HD re-release one day.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Awesome.
Beautiful Joe is fantastic.
Yeah.
Garfield. Is that
Garfield caught in the act on the Sega Genesis. Fantastic animation. One of the best animated Sega Genesis games.
Okay, let's go through some of these final super chats. And let me play some Halo or something. Sean seems really interested in Halo right now, so let's see. This is from Dragoon says, with the change in PS Plus service, do you think Sony will produce a portable device? I'm gonna say probably not.
Yes.
No. I wish they would.
Oh, whoa, hold on.
I think they will.
Interesting.
I wish they would.
No, they won't.
Interesting.
If they do,
Cloud
it's going to be a phone. It's going to be a phone. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
I think it'll be a phone. It'll be a hybrid. It'll be like what they did before. I don't know if it'll be a flat out just device, but it'll be a phone. Probably.
Okay, Nate. Maybe we'll expand on that maybe a little later. Derek says, will it have FPS boost for old PS games? Will Crunchyroll be included as a tier? We said it could be FPS boost. Possibly. I'm curious the enhancements they do though with these games. Ice says, do you think there's a chance for PS Plus to be native backwards compatibility, but you just have to subscribe to the emulator to make it work? We'll see. I'm hoping they also have an option for just buying the games outright and calling it a day. Fernando says, I've been trying to obtain Zero Mission and Fusion, but they're mad expensive. Should I just cop a Wii U and get them digitally, or is it worth the investment to get them physically? That's tough because I feel like those are games that will probably eventually come down in price if the Metroid hype dies down a little bit. I like having them physically, but I don't know if I can tell you to buy a Wii U just for those two games.
Especially if they release them in some way, to ride that Metroid hype. And yeah.
I mean, how much can you get a Wii U for now?
200, 250.
250?
That's still expensive.
The gamepad itself is still $150 just for the gamepad.
Yeah. Well, remember, there's only like 10 million of them.
There's not a lot of them.
Yeah. In my opinion, it's a good investment. It's a good investment. The reason why is because
console.
Yeah, it's a rare system. It's going to be a rare system in the future. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's going to be very rare. So I would, if you can get one for $250 or something like that, I would definitely say invest in it because it's just going to be a rare system.
Symphonic Balance says, I thought Jim Ryan was against working on backwards compatibility. What changed? Apparently, those were taken out of context. As according to him, it's not what he actually meant. So I think what changed is they see dollar signs. So yeah. Edward says, will this new PlayStation subscription service also be using cloud technology from Microsoft Azure servers, or are they already implemented in PlayStation now? I mean,
good question.
Yeah, I feel like they probably will because they made that deal Sony overall. But apparently there are games now that on PlayStation just use Microsoft servers for multiplayer anyway. So
PlayFab. We use it on Quake and Turok 2, and it's all the cross-play stuff is using Microsoft PlayFab.
There you go. Ditto says Sony should include 3 top-level games to every user who subs for the first month, like Kingdom Hearts or God of War. That'd be cool.
Don't hold your breath.
And Derek says chances of Sony music movies being on the new gaming service would be good advertising to get both Spider-Man games and movies on the same service.
Don't hold your breath.
I mean, I wouldn't mind it, though. That'd be cool. Hal says, what's the chance of Nintendo having an achievement system on the next console? Watching live every week from Scotland. I would like Nintendo to attempt an achievement system, but do it creatively. I think it'd be really cool to see what kind of spin they could put on it.
Don't hold your breath.
Don't hold your breath.
It would already be a big enough deal if they
get 30 achievements, unlock folders.
Clark with a cool sticker.
Unlock dynamic backgrounds or themes for the
just colors. Color background. Yeah, blue.
Literally else. Orange. Great. Thanks. Jeffrey says, given the price of retro systems and games, will there be a bubble that will force the prices down?
Nope.
They've been talking about it for 15 years.
I know. We've been talking about it for so long. Who knows?
How much was that Fire Emblem on the GameCube, OJ? $300, did you say?
It was
no
at
bubble.
the convention for over $300. I couldn't believe it.
There's no bubble.
I was shocked.
Bubble,
Raisin says. And...
Wait, who just sang Hyuna just now? Oh my god.
Whenever I hear anyone talk about a bubble burst, I think of that song and the stupid music video of her on the dock.
Oh my god! If you guys haven't seen the music video for Bubble Pop by Hyuna, like that is a K-pop classic, and you're not gonna think about anything else for at least the next few hours.
Nate saying it, to be honest.
Let me go to Sean. RGT, where can everyone find you?
Find me on RGT85. Just and fucking chat. Y'all gotta chill out. There's no beef. People have different opinions and people handling things differently. Everything's all good. There's no battle lines drawn, and I'll make up a lot of drama. Adults can talk about different topics, and one agrees, one disagrees. But at the end of the day, we all understand where we're coming from. It's just coming at it from different angles. Anyways, you can find me on RGT85. Tomorrow, I actually have a video going up. If you're a Resident Evil fan, I suggest you guys check it out. I talk with some industry insider asshole named Nate Drake about some upcoming Resident Evil projects and sort of the status of them. So, sorry. That's the topic of tomorrow's conversation. So I highly suggest you check it out. There's some really good information in there.
Ball says, anyone think Nintendo's big reveal at Game Awards might be Mario Party DLC? Smash is finished. Super Mario Party is the 7th highest selling Switch game.
No.
That's not a Game Awards thing. I'm just going off the past. Like, that's just not something that they roll out to the Game Awards. Is like Kirby or something like that, or like Mario Party or whatever. I mean, they could though, but you know.
Gabe says, did any of you all play the Condemned games from by Sega?
Yes.
If so, would Sega make another horror game again? I would like to see a new Condemned game. That'd be cool. Yeah,
that was awesome.
Pigeon says
online was super good.
Pigeon says great episode as always. Also praise Divock. MVG knows.
Oh, Liverpool, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Of course. The inked cheeky Englishman knows.
What Premier League team do you follow there, Sean?
For what?
The Knicks.
Football?
Yeah.
When I was in 8th grade, I was on a Castle Cup soccer team. And the only reason I was on it was because my best friend was a forward, and he was like really, really talented, like super good. Like he went to college on a soccer scholarship, and he was like, well, I want him to be on the team too. And so they put me in at fullback, which is essentially like a defensive person. We had a sweeper was like very talented as well, so they had me essentially as just like the bulldozer. They were like, okay, here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna run towards the ball. If you get the ball, you're gonna kick the ball upfield. That's it. And I was like, okay, I can do that. So like go on.
So you were the outfielder of your soccer team.
I was like, you know, when they have goons in hockey, like they want you to fuck someone up. Like that was my job. But like I was so good at doing that and just like chasing down people and kicking. This is before I smoked cigarettes. Chasing down the ball and just kicking the ball away, kicking it up there. And we actually won the Castle Cup. It was like this whole big thing, like this whole big, like we played it like an MLS soccer stadium and shit. It was wild. I don't like soccer. Because I tried to do it. No, because I tried to do it in high school, and I tried to do the same thing that I did in 8th grade, and they're like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Everyone's gonna be tight to go home.
Yeah, and I was like, "Yo, this is how I played. What fucking Castle Cup champion?" And they were like, "No, you weren't." And like my dad had to like bring the coach like proof that I was in there. It was ridiculous.
You should just bring like your medal or your trophy that you won it.
No, like because I wasn't driving, so like I had to like be like, yo, I need you to come bring this stuff. We didn't have cell phones and stuff. So when he picked me up, he met with the coach afterwards, which made it even fucking worse. But go on.
This is from Burst saying sometimes this GameCube versus N64 debate becomes who has a good chunk of time. Also, Jordan, I saw you on Ant Dude video. It was a surprise. Shout out to
you.
Appreciate that.
Anytime investment discussing N64 and GameCube is worthwhile.
SoCar says 64 had Quest 64 and Superman 64. Well, I don't want to compete with that.
Fuck Brian.
Shinru says Star Fox Adventures and Assault are goated GameCube games. Star Fox 64 is hot trash. Also, they gave us Crystal.
You're like I said, we could discuss opinions on this show, and different people got different opinions. But if you say Star Fox 64 is hot trash, your opinion is invalid.
He's joking, but Star Fox 64 is freaking amazing. Yeah. It is absolutely amazing.
Truly, it's a GOAT tier game.
Truly Epic says Polymega and 64 module looks good. We'll see. I'm sure MVG will be all over that.
Hey, just don't call it a clone system because I got fucking dragged in my video last week. People got so mad that I called it a goddamn clone system.
What the hell, MVG? Use proper terminology.
Dyer says Bloody Roar. We can put that on there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Bloody Roar.
Oh yeah, Bloody Roar.
Larry says, I like how N64 versus GameCube is the only console war that happens on the podcast. Villain says, between the N64 and GameCube, which one has the superior controller and why is it the GameCube? It's definitely the GameCube, obviously.
Obviously the GameCube.
Yeah.
I will concede that the GameCube is probably the best controller Nintendo's ever made.
Oh my! You'll concede that the GameCube is better, MVG. You can't. Your defense is so bad. It's so terrible. You have no defense, MVG. And he smiles every time we have this.
But the N64 controller is pretty ergonomic.
The controller is pretty good.
Every time he's like, yeah, N64, and he's smiling every time. I know he likes GameCube more, and I'm gonna get him to say it. I'm gonna get him to crack one of these days, dude.
You might have to buy him a drink or two, OJ.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the next time the too many games. Whenever if he gets to go, I'm gonna do it.
We'll get Giles Goddard on the Spawncast next week.
Okay,
we'll talk about the N64, baby.
Okay.
Let's go.
The MVG smiles every time we have this, and he knows in his heart. He knows what's right.
Dyer says Return of Bloody Roar on Switch. Then Creative Enterprise says, for Gene, do you agree Star Fox Command sucks?
I never played Star Fox Command.
It's not that bad. It's different.
It's
different. Dylan Cuthbert was trying something new.
Yeah. Geeky Gaming says Gladius was added to Xbox back compat, and I feel like everyone is sleeping on it. It is a fantasy XCOM style game when LucasArts was amazing.
That is a super good game. I have it on GameCube.
Lemstar says RGT, your mustache doesn't connect to everything else. It makes me rage. Also, GameCube is better because the N64 controller designed me.
I think I'm really going to start embracing this mustache, and like I've even been thinking about shaving the beard for the first time in like 20 years, like the sides of it, and leaving the stash.
Sean.
Yeah.
I'm not here to please anyone but my wallet.
All right, do what makes you happy, boo.
Like he says,
why does the play this old have to connect to? Why does it have to connect?
Set a Sony rep.
Doesn't have to.
Rascal says, why so much talk about Final Fantasy when Legend of Dragoon is clearly the better game? I don't know about that.
Because Legend of Dragoon didn't sell when it came out, so no one played it.
This is
like the GameCube.
Tommy says maybe this year's Spawn can actually acknowledge people's disappointment with the Game Awards instead of sweeping it under the rug and calling it a pretty fun night, like with last year's Game Awards.
John.
Hey, last year was pretty fun.
John is
always fun though, is it not?
John tries to be impartial with a lot of things.
I was gonna say that. Is it? Wait, hold on. Last year was. I feel like people were all right with last year's.
Well,
Game
hold
Awards.
up. The Game Awards is fun. Yeah, the ads click. You're right about that. But just the fact that we're all gathered to talk about the games, like didn't we like stream it? Like there was 2019, we were all like hanging out.
Yeah,
it's always just, even if it sucks, it's still fun to just hang out and stream the show and just talk about shit. You know, like that. So that's why I say it's still a fun night, no matter what. It's still always a fun night, regardless of whatever you believe, you know?
Yeah.
What you're laughing at, mate.
RGT should wax the stash instead of his Kojima.
No.
Rayzon says Kanye may jump in and say Cyberpunk is the best video game in the world. Let me go to OJ. Where can everyone find you?
Yeah, you found me right here on YouTube. Player Essence got some cool stuff. Had a new show that went up, so thank you guys to all that supported that. Talk about some Pokemans. But this upcoming week, we got some more stuff kind of going in on Xeno, potentially what's going on there. So shout out to everybody who's been subscribing to all the Xeno content. So I appreciate that. Got some new stuff that we're going to be doing on Xenoblade. And yeah, so if you're into RPGs or if you're into Nintendo games and RPGs, check out the channel.
Josh says, shout out to Gene. He should be a regular on the Spawncast. Hey, Gene, come by whenever Gene wants to come by. We're always
let me also just plug my review for Halo Infinite coming out Monday. Go see what I thought about it.
Check it out. People are, I think, be very curious. So make sure you check that out.
For sure.
On Monday this week. And Spyro says, excited to see the Muppets at the Game Awards, but seriously, what's up with Jeff Keighley and the Muppets?
He likes some Muppets.
There you go. Shinru says
it's his thing. Yeah.
He loves them.
Shinru says, in my opinion, this rumored PlayStation Game Pass sounds more like Nintendo style service. Instead, no modern games, just classic games with PS3. If it's good, I mean, there's gonna be PS5 and PS4 games.
Shinru, you're not paying attention. Shinru, we talked about this. Shinru, we talked about this. We said PS4 and potentially PS5 games too.
Khalil says for NetherRealm, maybe that rumored Marvel fighting game, not Marvel vs. Capcom, the Marvel fighting game.
What?
Yep.
For the Game Awards. Turkey says, do you guys make videos full times? I'd like to try. We do.
No, don't.
Smoke says, do you think
don't do that.
PlayStation Spartacus will play these older games better than the retro Arch? If not, would the service be that much less valued?
No way.
Richard says about Mortal Kombat HD, where should I vote for it? Sean did a video. He told you exactly where to go vote for it.
Yeah, the change.org petition in the thing. The only reason I gave it any sort of shine is because Warner Brothers turned down the game, saying that they didn't feel it would sell 100,000 copies, which is stupid because it would.
This is from Pawson saying OJ is right. N64 is one of the worst consoles ever. Mario 64 and Ocarina of Time are the worst 3D games of their respective series.
Landa.
What?
Fish fan says,
I didn't say all that.
RTT favorite smoked meat and go.
Bacon.
All right. Then we have Marvin saying Game Pass back pat will still be far superior thanks to FPS boost, auto HDR, and 4K textures. Old PlayStation games will look terrible on a 4K TV. We will find out. See what else they do with it. Matt Numi says these kids need to hush their mouths, put some respects on the N64's name. What's your favorite game from the golden Rareware era? Banjo or Perfect Dark? Perfect Dark was pretty good.
I think Perfect Dark.
Conquers.
Conquers.
GoldenEye.
Sean says most just okay game of the year is Biomutant.
The fuck?
I never played it. I forgot all about that game.
Shinru says if Halo Infinite's multiplayer main problem is the progression, might I suggest Splitgate? I mean, isn't it Halo but better because of portals? Jared says what game will win Dice's game of the year?
Halo has vehicles. That's it.
Yeah, a bad sound and no player collision. Let's go.
Oh my god, this sounds
Dice's
so bad.
Game of the year.
Halo Infinite.
Halo Infinite. RDX says looks like PSP VP got caught. Talked about that briefly. We'll see because there's gonna be some info I'm sure coming out this week around that from authorities. We'll say.
Yeah, the allegations are pretty fresh, so you know. Yeah.
Yes, we'll get it. I think a more concrete. Yeah, we'll get a more concrete report. I'm sure this week. So keep an eye out for that.
Doesn't look good.
Right.
And then Burst says Sting is the reason for your problem. Sean, the friend who stapled his nuts, the frozen meat thrown outside, the showing of the ham on the cast, Balan Wonderworld, all this because of Sting.
Yes.
Okay. Rascal says Keeley doesn't need to point out Activision Blizzard, but he could give support to any victim of what's going on.
Yes.
Storm says, this is the real talk. I come to Spawncast and Nate the Hate 4. Thank you. Misclick, where can everyone find you?
Yeah, you can find me here on YouTube as Misclick Gaming. You can find me live almost every day on Twitch as Misclick_live. I have, it'll be up in a prettier version on YouTube coming this week, but yesterday I just had a panel with the voice actors from the Super Mario cast, and that was so much fun. It was just an absolute blast. So if you wanted to check out the unedited version, you can find so on my Twitch. If not, it'll be up on my YouTube later this week, where we spent basically an hour and a half talking, with Charles Martinet, Kenny James, Samantha Kelly, and Laura Faye Smith, respectively, for their characters. Whoa. And they just went into all the depth about voice acting and being, just like creating in general. And it was really enlightening. It definitely went in a different direction than I originally planned, and it was just awesome. So that'll be up on the YouTube channel this week. Other than that, you can catch me on Twitter or Instagram as just Misclick.
Okay. Necro says Nate the Hate beasting on the execs at all those companies. Nate goes hard on them.
Go hard or don't go at all.
Okay, I'm gonna need you to bring that into Halo ranked match, okay?
Seriously, come on.
Evan, you will not quote that out of context. If I see that on the Spawncast out of context,
it's already
going to
be my message notification sound on my phone.
No,
clip it.
Hey, go harder, don't go at all.
What past weapons do you want added to Halo Infinite? That's from Anime. An actual shotgun.
Yes.
The axe.
The axe. What? The flamethrower. We had a flamethrower back on the PC Halo version.
Yeah, the original
fire everywhere.
The original Halo. Yeah, if you want to talk about demakes, I want to play that version of Halo, the third-person one with the flamethrower.
What was the question again? What do we want added?
What original or what weapons from older Halo games do you want added into this one?
Do footsteps count? Were footsteps ever in other games?
I can hear footsteps. You got
your fancy headphones, John.
It's the Xbox ones.
I can actually hear them on my TV too, which is the LG CX.
Are you sure they're enemy ones? Because I hear your footsteps usually when I play with you guys, and then barely anyone else.
I'm able to
enemies.
Yeah, I'm able to turn around and punch them before they.
You know what I hear? I hear some redneck guy who keeps announcing stuff, and I don't know where the hell's coming from.
Yeah, you can change your AI.
I didn't set it to a redneck. I set it to the woman.
Luck says, thanks,
Women
Miss
can
Click.
be rednecks.
It's a man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sebastian says, I love the discussions. I agree we should hold all companies to the same bar, and this is something that should always talked about, and this is your platform, and you should use it as you see fit. Miss Click.
Thank you.
And then Strawman says, well said, Miss Click.
Thank you.
MVG. Where can we find you?
Thank you for having me on. You can find me on Twitter at ModernVintageG and on YouTube at Modern Vintage Gamer. Monday video as normal, and I think Nate and I are going to record a Game Awards episode next week. So check that out. Oh, I'm also going to cover Paper Mario if it's crap. So hopefully
look forward to it.
Nintendo, you're on notice. Don't fuck it up.
Me and MVG got a cool video coming up at some point too. So look out. Stuff's happening.
Oh yeah,
stuff's happening.
I forgot about that. Yeah,
it's coming up.
Is that why he wasn't available to record with me? Because you
no. There's a certain thing happening. Things coming up. Things coming up. This is
my co-host. You got to run this stuff by me before.
We're not even in a video together. It's literally just like videos that we're making around. I don't know. Maybe MVG. Maybe we got to work on an Xbox. I don't know. Maybe we got to make an ultimate original Xbox. I got the HDMI mod. Thing looks good. I can just solder them into whatever. Yeah, that's right. Nate, where can I find you?
You can find me on YouTube at Nate the Hate, and on Twitter at Nate the Hate followed by the number 2, or on Twitter at DirectFeed Games. As MVG said, we will have an episode next week talking about the Game Awards. Probably dig into it a little bit. Also give some predictions. Maybe we'll bring on a guest. Maybe we'll reach out to the Grub Snacks himself. We'll see. And eventually, maybe sometime this month, we'll even talk about a little more about the Sony service, Spartacus, and what Jason didn't report.
Cool. Deathblow asked, did the guest just take a puff of weed? No, he has a vape.
I told him Gene only smokes the finest crack cocaine.
Oh my god.
This is not weed. I don't vape weed. I prefer flower. So.
And wait, I can have Evan. Where can I find you?
Find me on Twitter, Kimmerix Project. If I'm streaming or anything's going on, I'll usually just post it up there. I also just remembered I have a soundboard, so I got to look through some old episodes and get some Nate clips together.
Yeah.
Oh
no.
Yes.
Okay.
No.
Is that? I think I got everyone. That's gonna do it here for the Spawncast. Thanks to everyone.
Shenanigans.
If you're gonna ride, don't ride the white horse.
We will see you guys. Thanks, Gene, for joining us. Make sure you check out his link down below in the description. Check him out. And of course, his review this week for Halo Infinite, and I'll be playing that as well. And I'm sure we'll be talking about that next week on the podcast as well. Probably complaining about whatever won Game of the Year. We'll see you guys then.
Bye.